All right, family. How are we doing today? I hope we're having an amazing day. I wanted to show you guys something. Um, don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it on here. No, 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 no. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. This is supposed to be a great day to get with your family. I want to show you guys something. Read this for me. Let me just show y'all. Read this. I wonder if I can make this bigger. Can I make it bigger? I don't think I can. But it says freedom is never voluntary given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Okay. That speaks volumes to me, family. That speaks volumes to me. Hey, wanted to remind you guys about Ram in the Bush. It is a foundation where um we can hold on, I'm gonna try to pull it up. Where hold on. Just want to show you guys what we're doing here and want to keep it on your minds. Keep it on your minds, family. Okay, because I think this is very important that we should support each other's businesses and in support each other's endeavors. I don't want you guys to ever forget that this is a foundation here that we have. And welcome to Ram in the Bush. This is our website. And we got a lot of great stuff, featured products here. We got t-shirts, we got hats, we got Ram in the Bush, we got mugs, we got books, and everything goes back to our proceeds, goes back to the foundation. Um, we have services that we offer, resume services, mentoring, money management classes, life insurance, coaching, new programs coming, support and donate. Okay, Ram in the Bush, and we are here. And why did I create Ram in the Bush? We do have our own books. Why did I create? We got next. We got mugs. Okay, we got next Ram in the Bush mugs, t-shirts. And why did I create Ram in the Bush? I created Ram in the Bush because I saw that we were begging people that don't like us to give us a table, seat at their table. I got tired of seeing our men that went to prison that would come out of jail and didn't have a job, and they couldn't even get a job. So I thought, well, at first I went out to the different schools, high schools, and it wasn't clicking with the high schools, but I saw that it was clicking with the inmates. So I began to now put them in training, CDO training. We have a couple of CDO companies we work with. We have, if you want to learn how to do oil changes, wiper blades, we have an oil company that we work with that you can teach them how to change oils. They get paid 15 and up. You can go into management with this company. You can also, young boys, 18, we can teach you. We have a solar company that we work with that you can sell solar panels, get a commission plus. You can come away with up to 40,000, starting at 40,000 a year. Also, we have another company, Home Improvements, that we work with. These are guys that don't mind working with felons. Okay. Also, having a hard time right now finding companies like not even private, like bigger companies like construction companies, uh, not wanting to partner with us, knowing who we are getting ready to employ, getting ready to help them to have their own careers, their own businesses. And a lot of construction companies don't want to teach our little black men, like little young black boys or young men, how to get into that roofing company. And you have those companies, those areas have been inundated or whatever. It's overran right now by Mexicans. Okay, and they have their own businesses, and these guys don't even have high school diplomas and making big banks, and they're hiring their own. They're sticking with their own, and they're not, willing to train any of our black boys how to get into the roofing business. So I'm running into that now, and it's okay. I'm looking for housing for our inmates, okay, to actually put them into their own housing, because I see we're now housing. They come out of prison, they come out of jail, they come out and they have nowhere to go. And the system is set up that they've learned a craft in prison, but they're not even allowed to do this craft outside of the prison. And it's like, why? You learned it in jail. You were able to do it for 5 cents a day, or 5 cents a minute, or 5 cents an hour. but you can't come out and do the same thing that you were doing in prison for these big companies. But you can, man, but you can do it in prison. But then when you get out of prison, you can't do it. Make it make sense, family. But we all know what that's about, right? We want them to go back. It's a setup for them to go back into the system, but it's slavery. It's still a slavery system. We thought we were free. Surprise, surprise, you were not. And I talked to a lot, and I think I'm gonna get a few of my guys on, that I've helped, and I think we're gonna do a live with them to help us to understand the hardship of what they've had to face. Okay, so that's gonna be coming up within the next couple of months. We're just trying to get it together now. So we got some stuff that Ram in the Bush is working on. Okay, raminthebush.com is REALMINTHEBUSH. And if you want to support, feel free, because everything goes back to them. This just wanted to kind of introduce and not wanting you to forget what we were doing. And we do have products. Okay. Anything, you can come on a website and you can order anything from the website. You can support us, donate, powder, so just know that you have things that we're trying to do, that we need some support. Okay, we need mentors. We need I don't want to be the only one doing resume writing. So if you know how to do resume writings, please give us a call, give us an email, shoot us an email, realm@gmail.com. New programs coming, mental health counseling coming. We're really working on that, trying to partner with a young lady. So these are things that are coming. Coaching, I will do some of that, but looking for people that can do some coaching. Also, we have different, I'm trying to see, just different things that we are working on, and trying to get doulas. It's the hardest thing to get Black people to share or have time. I've been running in circles with one doula. I've not got with her yet. So looking for some doulas. If you know a doula, if you don't mind sharing your information. And that's what I'm finding out. A lot of people don't want to share their information. Welcome, 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 Erica Forecast. Welcome, you guys. So it's just really amazing at stuff that we're still trying to do here and trying to get things off the ground. But I'm looking at the hiccups. I'm looking at the walls, and I'm gonna tell you, racism is real. This systematical racism is real, and a lot of white people don't understand how real it is because they don't experience it. But I'm looking at it. I'm looking at Demon dead in his face every day, and I got my guys calling me, and they hit this wall where one company, I was trying to work with the state, and I'm gonna tell you, some of these states, one state pays more money than the next state, and then one state wanted them to help like $300 or $400, close to $500 for their CDL program. And I'm like, hold on here. And I didn't even know that until after I was sending people there. And then they said, Cassie, we're calling this place and they want $300 for the license. Then they want $40 for the background check, and they want $40. I mean, it was just money on top of money. And I'm like, hold on, that's not what I was told. They didn't tell me about all these fees that they were going to charge these guys. These guys are just coming out of prison. They don't have $400 or $500. Some of them don't even have licenses. They got to go and pay fines and got to get their license back. You guys don't even understand. And this is something new to me because I didn't even understand what they went through after they came out of prison. You got to start all over again. I had a guy that was homeless. I had nowhere to put him. I'm just living on the street. See, this is the system. You can't get an apartment. Come on, you guys. They won't let these guys rent an apartment if you got a record. Okay. So where do you want them to go? I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure that out. So it's just so sad at how things are. So they can't get an apartment. You stand where you can. And sometimes they're even getting in trouble, with these boarding houses because you still got a lot of stuff going on at these boarding houses. Okay. And I'm not saying all, I'm just saying some that I've come across, has some real issues at those boarding houses, and you could possibly get back in trouble dealing with some of these boarding houses. Okay. This society, this America has, and I can look and I see why we going into where we're going, and America's falling. And this is one of the reasons why they've made billions of dollars on Black people that they put in prison on purpose and giving them an exuberant amount of years for something that they tapping on the white boy's hand. You feel me? Only time white folk get in trouble is when they really shoot up a school, and a lot of time they end up killing themselves, so they end up getting out, right? So and I've known, and I've worked with one young girl, when I worked with her, and she was talking about all the stuff that they had done, and I looked at her and I said, honey, if some of that stuff if my daughter have done, she would be in jail for a very long time. And a lot of their kids are, getting a slap on the hand, and they're getting released, charges dropped, all this stuff. They're not facing what we face, and they're not. That system is not for them. It's for us. Okay, and I've seen some things to happen. Even dealing with that, and it's a lot to it, and it's so that rabbit hole goes so much deeper than we even actually understand or know. So just wanted to introduce that to you guys. We can come out of that, and now we're gonna kind of get into our topic and read this again so we understand. And we're getting ready to get into a series, and we're going to talk about some things, that critical race theory. I want to really break that thing down. I want to really talk about that because we really don't understand why is it that they are having such an issue with critical race theory, and they're banning it from people that's like elementary. They've not even taught it in elementary. It's really a college uh, curriculum. Okay, so they're banning it for our elementary and our middle school babies. Why? I mean, you have to understand, white folk do stuff for generations. They don't do stuff just for today. They do stuff, put stuff in place for generations. We don't even understand their mentality because we don't think like that. A lot of stuff that they do, we've not been exposed to it, so we don't even know it exists. We don't even think the way they think. Just like voting, they don't run to the polls to vote. They put money behind whatever candidate runs. That candidate that wins, they put money, millions and millions and millions of dollars behind that candidate, so that they can get laws passed. So black people are looking and wondering why black folk are not supporting, why these black politicians not doing anything for black people, because you're not putting money behind them. You're not putting your millions of dollars, which we don't. And I'm not even gonna say we don't have millions. We have enough people, and we are worth $1.2 trillion. So if a million black folk put $10 toward a person, how much money is that? That right there speaks volumes, and we can actually get some things done. But we don't do that locally. I'm saying locally. We can actually get reparations locally through the mayors, through the governors. But we don't put money behind anybody. So why would I stick my neck out for you? And when Paul Howard, look him up, he stuck his neck out for black people. They voted against him for a person that was backed by the police department, the union at that. Go figure that out. I cannot for the life of me figure out what are we thinking? What's going on with black folk to where we see we call good bad and bad good. That's just what we are right now. That's where we are. Paul Howard stuck his neck out. He brought charges up on the officer, Rayshard Brooks, the officer that shot Rayshard Brooks. Paul Howard brought charges up against him. We turned against him. We voted for the person, Fannie Mae, right? Fannie Mae Willis, or whatever her name is, who's the biggest coon in Atlanta. Okay. We voted for her knowing she was backed by the police department, knowing that the police union backed her, knowing that the attorney for the officer was funding her campaign. That should all be illegal, but it's not. Okay, I'm just saying. But when they want it to be illegal, it can be. All right. But she was going to be their voice, and all charges was dropped. Then she handed the case to somebody else so she wouldn't have her hands in it. But this person already knew his job, right? His job was to drop everything. And the guy, of course, is trying to get his job back. But guess what? That's neither here nor there. Because when we had a person that stuck his neck out, we didn't even support that person. So we really need to look at us and say, where is our next MLK? Where is the next Medgar Evers? Where is the next Malcolm? Where? I don't see them. I've been looking. The last one we can find was the older ones. We know Marcus Garvey, Medgar Evers. We know the ones. Where's the ones since 1963? Where are they at? Dead or in jail? We have one. Okay. Who was that one? Who was that one? Let me show you who he was. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Y'all bear with me now. Y'all know I'll be, come on. Y'all bear with your sister now. I ain't trying to rush. I'm trying to get some information out to y'all. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta type all this in. Hold on, you guys. I thought it was gonna just pop up, but it didn't. Okay, so let's see who was the one that stuck his neck out, and what did they say about him? What did they say about him? Let's see if I can find him. Okay, let's look. Okay, they put that out. Oh, that was big and bold, wasn't it? That was big and bold. Big and bold. Remember him? Y'all remember our brother? Huh? What do we say about him? That was the last one. Where's he at today? Where's he at? Let me show you where he at. That was the last one. Nobody, but guess what? Everybody was saying, oh, he's an agent. He's an agent. This agent got 7 years, but that's their agent. Why would you arrest your agent and put your agent in jail? That makes no sense to me. Does that make sense to anybody? That don't even make sense. But when you ask them what the agent, how do you know? Show me proof. Nobody had proof, but everybody was putting their mouth on, well, he was an agent. He's an agent. Well, how? Tell me how he's an agent. What the hell are you talking about? Had you spent time with him? Was you on his live? This dude was talking about a lot of he was Hebrew Israelite, talking about a lot of just what's that book called? The America, it's talking about how black culture had failed. I can't remember the book, but it's a really good book. I started even reading it. I'm trying to see if I can find it here. And I think it's in the other room, but I'm not gonna get up now. I'm not gonna get up and look for it. But let me show you where you at. Read this, read that. What in the world? I can't get this up. Come on here. Oh, Lord, these okay. Let me close this. I don't know. Close. I don't want to sign in. I just want the news. Okay, what can I get these ass off of here? Okay, well, anyway, leaders of a pro-black NFA militia charged by the feds. Okay, why was he charged? Okay, John Fitzgerald Johnson, aka Grandmaster Jay, could get up to 20 years. They was trying to get his brother 20 years for what? Did he murder anybody? No. Was he selling drugs? No. What was they trying to give him 20 years for? For something that they was afraid. This dude right here, read that right there. Leader of the pro-black NFAC militia arrested and charged by the feds. Okay, but let's see why. You see that? You see that right there? Let me show you some other stuff. I want y'all to see, where's our black leaders at? Where are they? Where are they? Tell me where they at. Let's see if we can see where. Let's see if we can see some more stuff. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if they're gonna let us do it or not. Let's see. That's what they were scared of. Look at that. Come on, y'all. This is what they scared of. Look at that. They were scared of that. They won't see a whole bunch of niggas with guns. They were scared of that. That's what he was producing. That's what he was standing up for, right? Not that we was gonna go and shoot him up, but we was gonna protect. They don't want this. That dude went to jail. They was trying to get that brother 20 years. 20. Why? Let's see some more. That ain't the only one. Come on, y'all. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see some more. Let me show you some more. But he's an agent. Let me see if I can get some more. Let me see. Let's see if I can get some. They say what? Back 13 things about NFAC. What they say? 13 things about NFAC leader called Greg. Now they couldn't wait to show that, right? Let me see. Let's see. Let's hear what he got to say. Can y'all hear? can hear. Can't hear it? Oh Lordy. Okay, hold on. Let me see what I didn't do. Hold on. Let's see what I didn't do. Hold on. You know me and my hold on, you guys. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can get it over here. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing it because I want to hold on, you guys. I want to make sure that I did it right. Okay. But this guy, he was a presidential candidate. Okay. He was running independently. Nobody knew about that, did we? Did we know about that? No, we didn't know about that, did we? We didn't do it any of our own investigating, did we? This was a person that put his neck on the line for Black people. Hold on. I'm going to go back to it because I want us to show. I'm going to share my entire screen. I probably didn't do that. And I probably didn't check that. Okay. And I'm going to go in here and share. Let's see. And we'll try to get this one on here. Okay. Now I can share. Okay. Y'all let me know. Let me know if you can hear. Let me know if you can hear. I hope you guys can. Hold on, y'all.
For help them along their bootstraps benefits us all globally. The United States needs to get on board with the other nations that are already moving in that direction. However, domestically, the other piece is something that's already been achieved in some other countries. I've said this in public before, and I watched the eyebrows hit the ceiling because they cannot imagine how it's done. And that is the systematic outlawing in this country of expressions of racism. And I'm not talking about hate crimes at the federal level. We're talking about all the way down, without infringing on your First Amendment rights, the ability for you to lose your freedom if you express racial sentiments against certain demographics in this country that have already shown to be hatefully divisive and violence inducing. If we are to undertake any type of unity building in this country going forward, we have to deal with our ugly past. So there are those who would want to take more radical steps in that direction. I believe the United States has evolved enough and matured enough that it can have the hard conversations that therefore dovetail into other things such as police reform and so forth, judicial reform and so forth, economic rebalancing and so forth. But the outlawing of those expressions, as they've done in Germany, needs to happen in this country. That's one of the most radical pieces of our platform.
That's 160 million.
Hold on. Okay, that's one. Okay, come on. We're not done. I'm sure he's got, okay. He was born, of course, they talk about him being a former director. This is his little life, okay? This is life, okay? Let's see what we got. Let's see, okay? Let's see what, this is
repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, opposed to secret society. The dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with us.
I mean that all of us who make up the patchwork of America, regardless of race, color, creed, religious background, persuasion, or sex.
now told he was an agent, right? When we stand up, family, what happens when we stand up? What happened? When we stand up for our own, we're called all kind of things but a child of God, right? Okay, let me see. I don't think I need to go on. I don't think I need to go on with that, but I think we understand. So I looked up. I was looking. I was trying to find where is our next. Where's the next MLK? Where's the next Medgar Evers? Where's the next NFAC? Where is the next Moses? Where? Everybody I looked up, fine young ladies, right? Fine young women. But I want y'all to see something. Now here are the candidates, okay? You know, that wanna, you know, that they call themselves activism. I don't think we need an activist. I think we need a movement. Where's the next Black movement? Everybody else want to be an activist. No, we have to learn from the past. You an activist, they kill you, or you go to jail. If you create a Black movement, now you on to something. That's globally. You cannot just be an activist because they horny and on activists. We have a Martise Johnson, right? Okay, first involvement in the fight was for racial justice following his personal experience with police violence in 2015. The encounter was caught on video, and the next day, justice for Martise was trending and sparked protests. Johnson spoke out on his college campus and continues to speak out about the importance of racial justice and why the fight for Black lives is so important. He recently graduated from the University of Michigan Law, okay, and working to support civil rights cases. Let me see if I can get the tape here. He had a video. Let's see if I can get the video. Hold on, you guys. Okay, let's listen. Okay, Martise, how police confrontation made me an activist. Okay, but let's talk about it. Let's see if it's gonna play for us. Let's see.
I was happy that this happened because for several reasons, to be honest. My story is kind of unique to the plot that the nation has kind of put on Black Lives Matter. Oftentimes, members of the larger nations sort of look at these instances and they say, well, Trayvon Martin did this in the past and that's why he deserved it. Or that kid smoked weed. Or Michael Brown had a previous criminal record. And so when you look at my story, people are able to paint this image of this kid who hasn't had a past criminal record, someone who is serious about academics. And now people actually have to look at these situations on a deeper level and examine why these instances are happening and why they're happening to people in spite of whatever their past history was. So a lot of these people who are going out to the protests and making physical change by being there and having that presence, I've been able to interact with them and basically strategize on different ways to have an influence from afar. On a short-term basis, I'm working with another member of my fraternity. His name's Samuel White. He's actually a white member of my Black fraternity. So we're going to hopefully put on a college tour in the spring semester where we go around to different colleges and we speak to our peers and do a workshop on race, police brutality, but also allyship. We hope for equality on a widespread basis, and we hope that Black lives can be valued at the same level as a white life or an Asian life or Hispanic life. We are focused on Black lives because they are the ones that are most commonly being attacked and most commonly being taken from us throughout the nation.
Okay. Who did he say he partnered with? Who did he say he partnered with? White guy, right? White college buddy, right? So we have to understand it's two types of Black folk, right? The type like myself, I don't have no white partners that I partner with. I don't partner with white folk because they're going to feel uncomfortable about what's coming out of my mouth, right? I've never met a white person that is comfortable around me enough to partner with me to, for us to work together, okay? He said he's going to work with his white, a friend that he's known from college. He's going to work with him. How does that white guy how does he feel comfortable enough to work with him? Forecast, I'm sure that you won't have white folk that's dying to work with you because of your mindset. We have to understand there's two types of Black people. We have to deal with our mindset. We have to get to the place where we are dealing with us and understanding what we stand for. Most of these people, Haley Thomas, Chelsea Miller, Vanessa Nakate, they have white counterparts. They have white friends. They're talking about everybody. It's this rainbow coalition. This everybody matters. Everybody is not having the problem we're having. And this is what we're creating right now. This is what we're creating. We're not creating Black folk or Black youngsters that are Black only. We're creating Black young folk because we've been mixed with everybody. We think everybody is important. We want to look out for everybody, but everybody not going through what we're going through. This is our new civil rights leaders. These are our new activists. They activists and all kind of stuff. You have one here. What she say? Haley Thomas. She's a wellness and a compassionate activist. What the hell is that? What's a wellness and a compassionate activist? What? Let's read. At the age of 12, does she founded Happy? Okay, a youth-led nonprofit organization working to empower youth with a holistic education, healthy, active, positive, powerful youth. Thomas' goal is to address the need for free and affordable plant-based nutrition and education in understanding and at-risk communities in 2021. Thomas and her family opened up Matcha Thomas, a wellness treehouse in Beacon, New York. We're definitely adding Matcha Thomas to our list for places to visit in New York. Okay, let me tell you one thing about white folk. If these black children or black youth were really a threat to them, do you think they would be sponsoring them? Do you think that they would do a whole story on them? Hell no. I'm not going to allow you to see black folk, black youth that's really out here fighting, out here trying to make a difference. White, that goes against their principles. That goes against their empowerment. They're not going to empower you and show you black folk that's coming against their white supremacy systems. So you have to understand the black folk that they're choosing for us right now, and they're already mentoring them. They're already shaping them to start thinking for everybody. You have to understand. You have to see the bigger picture here, family. But I do want to. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. Chelsea Miller. Miller may be young, but has already established herself as a leader in the world of activism. They're talking activism. So activism to me is not just meaning black folk. Activism could be, you could be activism for a dog, activism for a cat, activism for the whales, activism for, you can have different things but I didn't see anybody on this list that was activating or activism for B1, black folk. Okay, with the black mindset. Okay. She's activating. Let's read this one. Okay, she's Miller served as one of Barack Obama's youngest interns. Listen to that. How was she able to get that close to Barack Obama? She's black, female. But what did he do for black people? So he's her mentor. So what is he mentoring her? What do you think he told her? Did he tell her black folk important? Did he tell her black folks, oh, that's who you really want to go for? That's who you want to run and rock for? I'm sure he didn't, because he didn't rock for you. Okay. Working on domestic policy issues such as criminal justice reform. She started her own nonprofit called Women Everywhere Believe, with the goal of empowering and creating opportunities for women and girls of color. Girls of color. Does that mean black people? No, we're not known as people of color. When you tell me people of color, that means everybody. Mexicans, but Mexicans have their own. Asians have their own. Germans have their own. Okay? Chinese have their own. But black folk never have their own. Anything. We have everybody else's best interest at heart. Welcome, Isaac. Welcome, Kari. Y'all like assured you come in. White members of black groups, right? This is what we still have not understood that. White members in black groups, and we give them leadership positions too, okay? But let's talk about this. Let's break this down. So we see where we're going. We see where this activism is going, right? She's an activist, but she's activism or whatever, for people of color. That means anybody and everybody. I'm not just fighting for black people. I'm going to fight for everybody. I'm going to fight for all of America. This is what we're creating. So where is the MLKs, the junior MLKs? Where is the junior Malcolms? Where's the junior Medgar Evers? Where are they? I'm seeing more John Lewis's. I'm seeing more Al Sharptons. I'm seeing more Jesse Jacksons. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing anybody that's really good. I'm seeing more Kamala Harris's. Oh, I'm not going to do anything just for black people. Hell to the no, I'm not going to do that. Are we crazy? What's going on with us? Thinking we going to help free black folk. I'm just saying. Okay? So she wants to free everybody. Okay? Vanessa Nakate. Okay? Climate activist. What's that? Is using her voice to speak up about the issues affecting young people while also addressing broken promises made at the COP26. Vanessa is from Uganda and founded Rise Up Movement Africa, which aims to amplify activist voices from Africa. She also helped found the Friday for Future chapter in Uganda and has worked on issues like raising climate change. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell does climate change have to do with Black folk? Who cares about climate change? What are you talking about? Vanessa, please, somebody please help me. Worked on issues like raising climate change awareness. Now, I'm sure climate change got a lot to do with Africa, don't it? With African people, don't it? That's some white folk talking points. Are we recognizing what's being recreated here? Black folk don't even want to fight for Black folk no more. We want to fight for climate change. What the hell does climate change have to do with anything from Africa? Anyway, Uganda, I'm sure you can find something else to fight for besides climate change, Vanessa. But let's go on. Awareness and campaign to save Congo's rainforest from massive deforestation. I don't know what the hell that means. What in the world? What are we doing here? This is what we're creating. Where is the Malcolm X's? I don't see them. Okay, now you got one here. I can't even pronounce her name. Vandiwe Abdul. Guarantee you she wasn't born. She might have been born here, but her parents weren't born here. Okay, I'm just saying. A lot of these people are children of foreigners. They're children, like Vanessa, her mom, they came from Uganda. So, and I'm not saying all Africans, I'm just saying some of them have a different mindset than Black folk here in America that have gone through slavery. They have a totally different mindset. Is no stranger. Now they're saying this young lady is no stranger to protest or activism. Since she was 2 years old, now her parents took her with them to protest the Black Lives Matter meetings. Well, we have to understand what the Black Lives Matter stand for. Black Lives Matter does not stand for Black people. It stands for LGBT. We have to research some of these foundations, especially when you say Black Lives Matter, but you talking about transgender. Okay, that's who they're talking about. It's on their website. Pull it up and see. Okay, so by us not really getting into the meat and the potatoes of what these organizations stands for, we're standing for some that we may not even believe in, or maybe we do. I'm just saying. So let's talk about it. Her and her siblings created the BLM Youth Vanguard, and later the Black Lives Matter in school programs, which was adopted by National Education. Now, do you think if this, which was adopted by the National Education Association, do you believe that if this Black Lives Matter in schools programs, do you really believe that they would have adopted it to be put into the schools if it was really to free Black children mindset? If it was really going to do some damage? No. Okay. It was adopted by the National Education Association. Since then, she has been working to protect Los Angeles students. Her biggest victory was successful removing random searches from Los Angeles Unified School Districts, and is now working on removing school police from all campuses. I agree. We can do that. Okay. But let's really hone in on what really, when you're representing the Black Lives Matter in school programs, really, what is that? What does that really mean? Okay, I really want to see. Let's go into it and see. Let's see what it means. Okay. Now this is another. These are 3 other individuals that I want to bring them up because I was trying to get with them to try to see if they would come on. And still working to see, because I want this to be a number 2 part. But she was 16 then back in the day, and she talked about the different programs. But I wanted to go into it to see if I was really going to be able to pull up anything else. But we'll talk more about her and her other little friends in a minute. Now, I seen there was one that I'm going to introduce to you, but she's still about everybody. I don't see the one that's saying, I'm going to fight for Black people. These youth right now today are not fighting for Black people. They're fighting for everybody. Okay? Everybody. I was talking to a lady yesterday, and she was with this white woman. I went to a meeting yesterday, and she brought a white woman to the meeting, And you know me, I just talk. I don't care who in the room. And, and after I got done talking, the white woman comes up to me, you know, and the black lady comes up to me. So me and the white woman, you know, her friend started talking. And of course, the black lady talked, you know, she tries to intervene and talks about we're all a part of the human race. And I immediately, hold on, I'm stopping her friend because I'm going to address you. Well, let me help you out with that all, you know, the universe. Okay. The human right, the human, what she say, the human race. I said, we're not all the same for one. Esau and Jacob were two totally different people. It's two different nations. I said they stand for something totally different. We don't serve the same God. We don't act the same way. We forgive, they don't. I mean, come on. The white woman standing right there, I don't care. You came talk to me. So you already knew what I stood about, what I was talking about in the midst of that meeting. You already knew how I felt, but you wanted to come up here to really pick my brain. But I'm gonna handle your friend because that's who I'm right here. So I want to. It's not about the white. What about the white woman for me? Because whatever. But it was about the black woman that was that was mindset that was so warped. But you want to come up to me and want to correct me. Well, I'm glad you came. Come on, let's talk about it. You talking about the human race. I'm talking about that we're not the same. We don't even look the same. We don't even have the same features. Our hair is not even the same. Our bodies is not even made up the same. Their skin is not. What's the human race are you talking about? Do they act like humans? Those people come to kill, steal, and destroy. Whose attributes are those? This is some of the stuff that I'm talking about with her standing here because I don't care. I'm gonna say what I need to say. You don't want to. You came up to me to talk because you knew how I was. You already knew how I talk. So I'm not gonna hide it because you came to my face to talk. Okay, well let me really tell you how I feel. But you cannot sit here and tell me that we're all the same. We're not. We think different. We do things different. They don't think like us. They'll tell you to forgive, but they'll hold something for 25, 30 years for a whole lifetime against a family member in their own families. But you want to come to me and talk about the human race? Okay, let's talk about the human race. Let's talk about this human race you're talking about. Because the human race that I see, you move in their neighborhood, you're going to have a problem. But let Jeffrey Dahmer move in your neighborhood. We don't have a problem with anybody. Anybody come live with us. We love everybody but each other. Right. But that woman was so comfortable around her that she came up to me. She wasn't challenging. I had more challenge from the black woman, which was great because I needed an opportunity to really tell her how I felt about her hanging with Becky over here. You're so safe that Becky can actually, anytime you see black folk hanging around white folk, they've given up their culture and they got this all of the human race mentality. Get the hell out of here with that, all of the human race mentality. Get out of here with that. Because if you was all of them, when you moved into their neighborhood, you wouldn't have a problem or they wouldn't be moving out. It's called white flight. They never integrated with us. They never came to your neighborhoods. You always had to go to their churches. You had to go to their neighborhoods. You had to go to their schools. They never integrated with you. But you want to talk about the human race? What human race are you talking about? What human race are you talking about? The ones that tell you I don't see color? Well, I have a black niece or a black nephew, but then let your child get shot in the street. Do you see them out there protesting? Do you see them out there? They'll tell you the thugs. What was those attorneys doing out there in the street when Black Lives Matter was peacefully protesting? They had guns and they was pointing guns at those protesters, right? And these are some people call themselves Christians. Oh, I went to a friend of mine's church, right? and they was standing up there praying for the police officers. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? But I didn't drive. I rode with her, right? And if I had a drove, I'd have got up and walked out because I'm like, what are you talking about? We're praying for police officers. We're not praying for the children that just got gunned down. See, this is how white Christians think and black Christians think, right? They'll sit up there and pray for the police officers, but you're a Christian, but you just saw this man gun down somebody. So your mind frame has not changed. And I've dealt with both. I've dealt with those white Christians, those white Trump lovers, Christians who I'm sitting up here looking and they think just like the KKK. They think just like, the nationalists. I'm just saying, but these are Christians. KKKs call themselves Christians. So what does that tell me about Christians? White Christians, we don't even serve the same God. So when y'all talk about this, the human race, which is what the young lady was talking about, well, a part of the human race, whatever. Let me shut that down. Let me help you to think about this human race that you're talking about, which were two totally different nations. That was my thing. We don't even think the same. We don't even look the same. We don't even act the same. I say, when you want to be friends with somebody white, you have to give up your whole blackness. You can't think like I think because they will feel uncomfortable coming to me and hanging out with me because I'm not gonna hold my tongue. I don't care what color you is. Okay, but let's continue. Let's continue. We got a Danielle Koch, okay, took a leap of faith by quitting her job to build social media and design agencies to use digital illustrations as a way to speak up about social justice. She combined her hobby of graphic designs to make complex social justice issues a bit easier to understand all around the world. Her beautiful graphic and words help guide throughout conversations, reflections, and actions, while her Instagram account creates a space for compassion. Here we go with compassion again. It ain't nothing about compassion. Sometimes you can have, black folk have had too much compassion. And we sitting up there letting folk run up and down, just run over you. But because we got so much compassion, we can't say what we need to say in the room. We want to, be quiet. The white girl sitting down there, I don't give a damn. She shouldn't have been here. This is a black forum. This is a black area, black space. You wanted to hear how my blackness thinks because you came. This is not somewhere white folks should have been. You know what I'm saying? This is a black forum. So why are you here if you don't want to hear my black thoughts? Okay? Because I'm not going to make you feel comfortable. I don't want you to feel comfortable. I want you to think about what you're doing here. I want you to think about what black folk going through. So yes, when I see them in the room, I'm going to be as black as I can be, thinking wise. Oh, I'm going to tell them how I really feel because you're in my black area. I'm not going to conform to you. You came to my area. Okay, so many white folk, black folk go to their areas. Now you got to conform. You got to drop all the blackness. You can't think black. You got to think about the universe, the whole human race. Just like Jane Elliott. I wish I could get in the room with her. You want to tell me if we're part of the human race? Get the hell out of here, lady. And you have black folk listening to this white woman tell you about the human race. And she said a couple of points, but then talk about reparations, and she gonna really tell you what she think about reparations. She don't believe black folks should get reparations, but you want this woman to speak for you? She told us the Indians need to get it first. The Indians, let's do this. Let's give black folk a program. We don't need programs. We got enough programs. But this is why black folk, because she talks, she said so. Well, do you want to be black? Because she speaks a good game, talk a good game, so she's getting paid. This woman is getting paid to talk the way she talks, okay? Whatever. Get out of here with that. Let's see. See, so most of them doesn't have that black, that oomph. They don't have that fight in them. They don't have it. I'm looking at some soft individuals that's being soft to get things passed, but you got about 10 of them, I think it was. You got Anaya Dillard, understanding that young people are powerful change makers, as she found a nonprofit organization called The Next Generation Come Up to encourage youth involvement in activism, organizing community services, and visual arts. Dillard becomes involved in social justice activism after noticing she was only one of a few black girls in a gifted student STEM program in high school. That's because she was in an all-white school, probably. Her first action as an activist was to organize community events around after the death of George Floyd, and more than 3,000 people showed up. Okay. This became the largest civil rights protest in her hometown history. And since then, she has organized other events, formed a youth caucus, empowering young black women and girls, and spoken out on gun violence, school shootings, climate change awareness, and period poverty. I want to say, is this one of the young women? Hold on, let me see something. Hold on. Let me see, is this one of the young ladies that I wanted to tell you guys about? Okay, Sophie Ming, she is one I want to talk about. But see, a lot of these people want to speak out, but they're still talking about this, everybody. Okay, but hold on. Okay, these are three that I really want to. These are three. Okay. Yes, Anaya Dillard. That's one. Okay. More. These three right here. Okay. So this is one that I want to talk to you about, but still, you have to understand, they still talking about even Anaya Dillard. We're gonna talk a little bit about her. She is probably the most, that's doing the most right now. but she still has that vision as far as everybody. That bothers me because we still trying to fight for everybody, and I see where it's going. I don't see anybody out here that just fighting for Black people. We have nobody. Now, please help me. If you see somebody you got groups that's still talking about the new Black Panther, but still, you talk about some white, they got white members. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that you're going to really have that heart after Black folk. You might see the suffering, but really, really talk to them about reparations. And let's hear the answer. If you come in here and you say, I want to be part of your Black group, my first question is, what do you feel about reparations? And if you start talking about, well, I didn't really own any slaves. I don't give a damn if you own a slave or not. The Jews, half of them dead. They died in the Holocaust. They weren't part of the Holocaust, but they still get money. That's the first thing I tell them in the first place. When they say, oh, I ain't own no slaves. Okay, the Jews, none of them, I don't know any of them that went in the ovens and came out the ovens. I don't know any that's alive today that went in the ovens in the Holocaust. And then Holocaust happened in another country that didn't even happen in America. So why are we giving them money again? So let's really get on that subject. When they tell you, well, I never had a slave. I've never hurt anybody. Well, yeah, you have. All that money that your ancestors left you from doing, from working on, owning plantations, all that money was given to them, all that land was given to them. Did you still own hundreds of acres? Give me an acre. Give my granddaughter an acre because one of my ancestors worked that land for you. Okay. So give me an acre or two, since you don't have nothing against, so give us some of that land. You got 100 acres. I'm just saying that's a lot of hogwash when they talk like that. Those talking points suck. I hate those talking points. Let's go back over here. Let's see if I can find a little thing here. Okay, so Anaya, we're gonna talk a little bit about her, and Sophie Ming. Okay, Sophie is not one to shy away from speaking up against the issues that matter most to her. She's from New York City and has helped to organize some of the largest Black Lives Matter protests, including marches for teens and adults and chalk at art events for younger kids. When asked what advice she has for young activists, she says, demand that your voice is heard, don't ask. She also founded the New York City Youth Collective and is currently studying to become a doctor and hopes to incorporating social justice into her work. Okay, now she's getting ready to get into a white field, right? If she's going to take that degree and work in a Black neighborhood, helping her own, creating Black clinics or creating hospitals for Black people, then I can see you going into that field. But going into that field and pretty much trying to change that field, you're going to be hitting your head up against bricks trying to hopes to incorporate social justice in that field. You're not going to go in there, all white area, and you're the only Black there that really think the way you think and gonna change anything. It takes a group of Black folk. It's not going to just one Black person. They're going to double team you, and you're gonna get your head, your head bashed in. It's gonna take more than one person to change that racist system of how the medical field is, right? It's gonna take a lot of us. Yes. 40 acres. Genesis Butler, okay. Even though she is 15 years old, has been known as an activist, and I wish they would stop calling themselves activists, because you think white folk don't horn in onto that word activist, and they hear the talking points to really see if they really in MLK, if they really, what did Hoover called them, the next Jesus, the next Black Jesus, the Black God. Okay, they're listening to see if they're really activists or not. I don't think they've had any problems because they're really knowing that they're not strong enough to do anything right now. But still, you have to, if you have that Black only mentality, then I see where you're having most of your problems. When you get to the place where it's all Black, it's B1, it's really thinking Black, it's really talking about economics, it's really talking about having your own base, it's really talking about owning your own land, it's really talking about the economics of Black folk coming up as far as the investments, as far as their wealth. Now I can see you having a problem. But when you're talking about, all this compassion and, oh Lord, it's a different, we're creating a different type of Black people here. When you talk about activism, you're not talking about the way we used to have activisms. The old MLK was strictly Black. Yes, I think he messed up also, by the inclusion of white folk. One day our bribe is going, hold a high white hand, and that shouldn't have been a focus. Real focus should have been on economics. How do we even out the playing field? I can stay at my school, but yet some of that tax money that you overly giving white folk, you got to get some of that so we can come up on our books, so we can build up our infrastructure. That's not what he was thinking. He was thinking about coming together. Conclusion: we don't need to come together with them. You had just come from up under them, and then you brought your people right back in the midst of these devils. Why would you do that? That was not a Black idea. That was not a God-given idea, because he never wanted you to mix and mingle. So we know that wasn't a God idea, because Deuteronomy 7 talks to you about that. You can read Deuteronomy 7 for our biblically Christians out here that don't believe that, that believe that, it doesn't matter who you love. It doesn't matter the color. Hell yeah, it matters the color. Yes, it matters who you love. Yes, it matters the color, because if it didn't, it wouldn't have changed everything. They wouldn't have whitewashed everything. Moses was Black. Why would they make him white if color didn't matter? Keep him Black. 10 Commandments. All you see was white folk. If it didn't matter, why you change him to white? I'm just saying. I'm just asking the question. And people get mad at you asking the question. I'm just saying. So it's time for us to understand what's really going on here. Yes, it always matters. It matters who you love. You done married these dysfunctional women, brothers being proud of going to Germany, going to Australia, marrying these white pieces of trash that don't take baths. What the hell you want with a nasty? You done went to the garbage can for trash. I'm just saying. But you think you got something. Wait till them women get 30. They gonna look like they 90. You think you got something? Go ahead. All of them are dysfunctional. All of them are medication. And there's not one that I've ever met that's not crazy as hell. I've not met one white girl that's not toxic. I mean, Black white folk that's toxic. What do you mean when you hear a Black guy saying, they're not as strong, they're not as toxic as Black women? What? You fooling yourself, bro. You better open up your eye. Ask a Nigerian guy that just got killed by one of them OnlyFans women, right? I'm just saying, I forgot you can't ask him what happened. He died. I'm just saying. But she wasn't toxic. But she was beating up on him. She was hitting you. You had photographs of her kicking his behind, beating up on him, hitting up on him. You had photographs. But he thought he had something because she was beautiful. That devil tricked him, didn't he? She was so beautiful that she stabbed him, killed him, and now he dead today in his grave. And I think he was 20, 23, 24, 25 maybe. I don't even think he was past that. I think that's about the age he was, 25, 26 maybe. But my thing is, you didn't have to die that age. But this is why we keep telling y'all, and we as women, we need to be holding ourselves accountable. You need to be teaching young boys to leave these snow bunnies. Do not bring one home. I'm telling you, I even teach my daughters that. I taught them that way back in the day. I have one that went to Jackson State. So, her dad always talk to her about, look, that's not who, we don't bring those home. We don't. I even talked to my granddaughter about it. We don't bring those home. We don't even think about, those are not dating material. Those are very dangerous people. And I tell them that. Those are very dangerous people. Seriously. Somebody said, what are you going to do about one home? They won't be coming up in my house because they're dangerous. You get them thinking, I may have to shoot him. I'm just saying. You coming up in my house being acting crazy, then when I got to protect myself. Because, nowadays I'm looking. I mean, when they come in the room, I'm looking. I got my, I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm watching everything. You walk behind me, I'm looking. I'm going to turn around and get this whole 360 because I'm watching you. I'm watching you. When I hear Black folks say, Black neighborhoods is more worse, go ahead, walk into a white neighborhood and see what happened to you. We have stuff even on YouTube that's telling us Black folk trying to deliver in white areas and getting gunned, getting shot at or getting chased down. So you want to tell me that Black folk neighborhoods are more worse for Black people than white folk neighborhood? You can at least walk in your neighborhood. You can't even walk in their neighborhoods. Okay, but how do we get like that? Let's talk about that. How did Black folk get to the point where we can't walk in our own neighborhoods? Okay, we used to go walk in our neighborhoods. Remember those days before you allowed your kids to be educated by them? You used to do a whole lot of stuff. But now our children act just like them. Our children shooting up schools. Our children shooting up everything. Our children didn't even know nothing about weapons in the 60s. How did they learn that? Where did it come from? the very person that you want to lay with me, and the very person that you want to call your baby mama, the very person that you'll marry them. You won't marry a black woman, but you'll go and marry a snow bunny in a minute and think you got something, be just as proud, want to put her all in black women's face like you got something. And if black women, if you know, we already know you got a piece of trash, you ain't got nothing. You got a piece of trash over there. You done went through damn garbage, got a piece of trash. Now you think you got something. You parade that piece of trash. It's almost like me. Oh, y'all. It's almost like you'll have a penny, right? And you'll have a gold piece, and you'll trade your gold piece for a penny, and then you got the nerves to show that penny. I got a penny, and you big dumb. You don't even know that you got something way less than. You got something way less. A penny is way less than gold, right? So you didn't trade it over your gold for a penny. That don't even does that make it make sense? That's exactly what you guys are doing. You trading in the gold, your gold, black women, gold, okay? Gold, melanin, gold, skin, gold. Everything about a black woman is gold. We go through what we go through because of the society we lived in. We didn't get here by ourselves, fellas. We didn't get to be toxic women by ourselves and what you call us. But is it really toxicity? What is it really? Let's see where it started. We weren't like acting like this in the 60s. They've always, their history. They've always attacked. They've always fought. They've always stole. They've always killed. Their history. Look at the history. And you try to tell me that black women is more toxic. You better open your eyes, bro. You're going to Australia. They don't even like black folk in Australia. You're going to some of these sundown towns. I showed you that the other day. You're going to some of these sundown towns. They don't like black folk. You scared to death, but you're going to risk your life for a snow bunny. For a snow bunny. If she cared about you, she'd have packed up and said, okay, I know it's dangerous in this city for you. I'm not even going to ask for you to pack up. I'm not even going to ask for you to live down here. I'm not even going to ask you to come this way if she cared about you. That woman don't care nothing about you. Know it's a sundown town and know you right there. She going to sit there and keep you in danger and you dumb enough to stay. That's your fault. That's your fault. You live in the sundown town. Something happened to you. That's your fault. And no, I won't be fighting for you because you shouldn't have took your ass down there in the snow town or sundown town. I'm just saying. No, we're not doing that. I'm reading some of y'all comments. Highly favored. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Erica, grandma used to say, huh? I like that. Forecast, what you saying on here? We were told that not to mix with them. It's in Deuteronomy 7. More black folk read the Bible than you think. And we just didn't have the revelation of understanding what it meant. He told you, don't give your children over to them. He told you that in Deuteronomy 7. And he said, why? Because they'll turn your hearts from me. And that's what's happening. They're turning our babies' hearts from him. Yes, she did. She told her let her boyfriend visit. Yeah, 5 months later. She's trying to have conjugal visits, which is having, sex in jail. That's all that is. Now she's looking 40 years old. Or she gonna look worse than that. But we have to start understanding what's really going on. Even with these black babies here that's sitting here saying, oh, I got one more, Marley Diaz. We have to understand what's going on. They are reshaping our black minds because of the simple fact, when we were black only and we stayed amongst ourselves, you had a lot of this. Let's go back to it. Hold on here. I'm going to show y'all here. Hold on. Let me find it. Hold on, y'all. Help me. Hold on. Nope, that ain't it. Hold on. You got a lot more. Hold on. I gotta find it. Dang on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see where's my people at. Nope, that ain't it. Hold on, that ain't it. I gotta find it. Okay. Nope, that ain't it either. Okay, we had a lot more of this. Hold on. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, am I not going to be able to play it? Hold on. Oh, I hate this. Ralph Bunchy, I was trying to play something. Now, these are civil rights, the first Afro-American Nobel Prize winners, Peace Prize winners. But I wanted to play civil rights icon. Play the video that I saw. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can get to the videos. I don't think you're not gonna let me play it, are they? No, hold on. Maybe. Hold on. Now we remember Maya Angelou, right? Okay. Okay. Daisy Bates was a generalist who fought for civil rights. Okay. Mary McLean Bethune, okay, was a racial justice. Ruby Dee, okay, and her husband, late Ozzy Osbourne. Okay. Now, some of these people, I don't know how much of an activist they were. Okay. Fanny. Okay. We know she was, okay. Dorothy Heights. Josephine Baker. Not only was Josephine Baker a beloved entertainer, okay, she was, dang, this thing is moving too fast. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Fame on the stage of Paris became because racism held her back in the U.S. But she visited, okay, dang, this thing is gone. But she visited the States in the 50s and 60s to help fight segregation. Okay. I mean, these are, Nikki Giovanni, who was that? Civil rights activist, poet, came into the civil rights. Boy, these things is gone after becoming a part of the Black arts movement in the 60s. Why do we have to go way back to the 60s? Then we got Lena Horne. I ain't never known her to fight nothing. I'm just saying, but maybe she did before I even knew. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, Coretta Scott King. Okay, we all know who she was. Mildred Loving. Okay, that was the one married to the white woman. The white guy. I really don't understand. I ain't gonna even say she was about nothing because she had a white husband. So my thing is, how can you have a white husband and sit up there telling you fight civil rights, anything? See, so some of the stuff you have to understand how they do. How they do us. They'll sit up there and try to convince you that you was fighting all black, this, that, and the other, but you married to a white man. Impossible. Just like, who was that one guy? What's his name? Oh God, I got his face in my mind. He's married to a white woman and talking about he's a civil rights leader. Whatever. He wear glasses, black, light-skinned guy. What is his name? Wesley? No, what is his name? I can't even think of his name, but they'll try to tell you, oh, he's a black activist, but he got a white woman. I'm trying to see if I'll find him down here. No. He was one of the best. Okay. But I'm just trying to say, I want us to understand that, yeah, they'll put different ones in your face and you thinking that, that they really like Lena Horne. I don't agree with that. And, it's just some people I just don't rock with because I don't see how they was fighting black nothing. So these are a couple of the young ladies over the last several months. Black Lives Matter protesters and activists have led the nation in an overdue reckoning of execution of how racism has permeated every aspect of American life. Our schools, our politicians, our workplaces, our justice system, our housing market, and much more. Now, do we understand that there is a system of systematical racism? We're talking about a system that they've set up against Black people. This is why a lot of Black folk had to go out the country to be entertainers and stuff, because it wouldn't work for them here in the country. For the young people in this movement, it's a new chapter in a lifelong fight, one that will shape the very world they'll grow up in. But why don't we see the MLKs? Why don't we see the Medgar Evers? Why don't we see the Malcolm X's? Where are they? Where are the ones that'll fight just for Black people? When we did have one, we had one. No, I don't want to, y'all want me to keep showing you this picture. We had one. Okay, I'll show it to you. We had one. Okay, we did. We had one. That's the picture. Black Army rises to fight the racist rights, right? Okay, a man calling himself Grandmaster Jay has raised a disciplined, heavy armed militia. It has yet to fire a shot at its enemies, but it's prepared for war. Okay, doesn't matter. They don't have to fire a shot yet. But then white folk knew, right? They knew when he walked in the room. They knew what he stood for, didn't they? They knew, didn't they? That's why they had to get rid of him. That's why they had to get rid of that brother. That right there. That's what we're talking about. Okay. We had somebody like that. Where's that at? In jail. Got 7 years. For what? For what they said. Allegedly pointing a weapon, but it was somebody on the roof. And I think this is the time they was in Kentucky. But let's go back. They was fighting. He had like a year before he got arrested, he had stopped money from coming into Kentucky, right? They had that derby and they had to cancel it because they did a Million Man March that day, right? So they had to cancel the derby. They canceled it. All these people were supposed to come in for that derby and they couldn't because they was marching. So of course they was like, we're gonna get this nigga back. We're gonna have to do something. We got to stop this, right? So they used their system to prosecute our brother. Their system. So it's like them investigating themselves. Like police officers will come and they'll investigate themselves and say nothing to see here. It was all legal. What? They never call themselves guilty for anything, his family. Never. But we do have one more I want y'all to talk about. Marley Dias. I think that's her name. Diaz. I don't know. She's 16. But now I think this was like 2 years ago. So in 2020, 23 is she's probably was about 19 now. Okay. She's also 21 ambassador of the National Education Association, Read Across America, and the host and executive producer of Netflix Bookmarks. Okay, celebrating Black voices. She launched 10,000 Black Girl Books in hopes of finding more books featuring main characters that are Black girls. Okay, since then, Diaz has collected more than 13,000 books in the past few years. She has been working to get a message across, including young people in important decisions. She has spoken up about racial injustice at rallies and in her community, but also continues to push for more representation in books and in school curriculums. Okay, I understand that. Let's see what she talked of. How was she speaking up? This is who she is. Okay. Let us help you lead Marley Diaz. I don't know how, on why young people must be included in the fight for racial justice. Okay. I wanted to see if she had a speech or something that we could listen to. No. This white boy keep coming up here. Who is he? He ain't getting on my screen. Get out. In order for us to be the change we wish to see in the world, we must see ourselves first in fact, and in fiction. I thought she had something on here that I could play, but I don't see it, and I don't feel like reading all of what she had to say. She said she's 15. I've been an activist for 1/3 of my life. How are you an activist? You're 15. What are you activating? What are you doing? It started when I was 10, and I noticed the lack of Black girls, characters like me, in the books and that I read. Now you have to understand, Black Lives Matter stands for the transgender, right? Let's talk about that. And I see a lot of these girls talking about women only, girls only. Is that what the lack is, as far as is that the lack of hold on, what I'm trying to say. Is that the lack of, or is that the representation of Black Lives Matter? You understand what I'm saying? I don't even know if you guys understand what I was saying. I'm supposed to have a guest on here. I'm gonna see. Hold on, I think I need to do something. Hold on, you guys. I need to go on here and do something. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna try to do it that way. Okay. She's supposed to come on here and introduce something to us. So I want you guys, I'm gonna see if she's coming. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about this, but I'm gonna see if she's coming on here. Hold on. Y'all give me a couple minutes. Hold on. Okay. I do have one person that I want to introduce you guys to. I want you guys to see this one person. Hold on. Hey, 88, how are you? Welcome. I want you guys to like and share. I wanted to make sure. So if anybody wants to come on. I want to go back over here because this one. And I want you guys, I mean, look at the young faces, right? But it was one. I wanted you to hear her voice. I wanted y'all to hear what she had to say. If I could find, no, I can't find nothing on this thing. Hold on, let me see. Let me go into, who is that boy that keep coming up on my screen? I wanted to, hold on, maybe I gotta go into there. Hold on, you guys. Let me see where she is. I'm trying to see. Nope, that's not her. That's not it. Oh, Lordy, have mercy. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find it. I had already had it set up. But y'all with my setting up stuff. Okay, this is what I want to show you guys. Now, this is one of the young ladies. Now, listen to her speech. It's not that long. This is Anaya, okay, Dillard, 17, probably 20 now. But I want you guys to listen at what she has to say, okay? Let me know if you can hear it.
Ask any Mexican, any Puerto Rican, any poor man, any black man. Ask the wretched how they fare in the halls of justice. And then you will know, not whether or not the country is just, but whether or not it has any love for justice or any concept of it. It is certain that ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy that freedom can have and that justice can have. My name is Anya Dillard. I am 17 years old and I'm also an activist, the founder of the Next Gen Come Up, and the current student council president at West Orange High School. Firstly, I want to thank our ancestors for shining upon us on this day. It has been a gloomy week for many of us, but today we are met with this beautiful weather. Tonight, our broken system defend the honor of our brothers and sisters who are no longer with us. The quotes that I just shared with all of you are the words of the great James Baldwin, spoken over 50 years ago. The problem is, these words could have been spoken just yesterday. Yep. Not much has changed. It is 2020, and my generation alone has witnessed the countless murders of people who look just like our fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our best friends, all to the hands of police officers and white supremacists in this country. We have been told that the priceless melanin in our skin is to be deemed a threat. We've been told that all we have to do to be deemed thugs are pull hoodies over our heads, or go on jobs, or sleep in our own homes. We have been told that the struggle is a work of fiction, one that is 400 pages long, pages worth 400 years of pain and suffering, pages that we should all just get over, according to society. This generation has witnessed murder almost as much as it's witnessed YouTube ads. That is the issue. The effect that has on the psyche and the spiritual placement of young black people in this country is life-altering. We have experienced such alienation and felt such outrage. We have all feared for our lives and suspected the worst from a society that should be honoring us. Even me, a black girl living in the suburbs who has never had a policeman This town was never hopeful and racial. My mother was a black woman on Overlook Avenue, the only dark-skinned black woman married to a white Italian Irish man, and I am fighting for you. They came Gregory School. I am fighting this war so that it will not remain a norm of our future.
Did you just hear somebody was shouting in the background? She said, I'm biracial. My mom or somebody was black, but married to a white man. I think it was an Italian man. And she said, I'm fighting for you. See, this is what I'm saying. These young folk are not fighting just for black people. We're still fighting for everybody. Everybody's included, but you have to understand where it came from. We didn't fight for everybody in the 60s, did we? We fought for black empowerment, right? What happened? When did it change? When did it change?
I am fighting for my little brother. I'm fighting for my father, for my uncles, for my cousins, for my best friends, for many of which are young black men. We have been fighting this war for longer than we know. We have had moments where we felt powerless and even discouraged. However, what we have seen in just the past few weeks has been empowering. This is empowering. The protests all over the world that have been sweeping social media have painted the faces of millions of people of every race, as allies of our fight, as allies of the Black Lives Matter movement. It has shown us that collectively, we have the power to not only demand change, but to obtain it. It has shown us that we have the power to change the societal metric of this nation and mobilize towards real victories. Many say that what we are doing is disruptive, unnecessary. George Floyd's killers were arrested, so why are you still disrupting the peace? Yes, George Floyd's killers were arrested, but we are fighting for a conviction, not just the conviction of these men and all the others that still walk free today. We are fighting for a conviction of the system, a system powered by disenfranchisement of black men and women, a system fueled by pain, hatred, and bigotry. We are fighting to rebuild a system that protects us, that upholds the promises and obligations to all people. We are fighting to shake up the foundation of this country that was so brutally built on the brutal backs of our ancestors. We are fighting for our brothers and sisters who have never received justice. We fight for Sandra, Trayvon, Eric, Michael, Brianna, Philando, Sean, Freddie, and even Emmett, along with the many others that don't make headlines, that have struck our communities with such grief. We are fighting for all of them, and we will not keep repeating ourselves. Justice must be served today. That's right. Young people, we are at the helm of what is being called the biggest global civil rights movement in history. With that being said, my message onto you is that we cannot let this moment fade. We have got to build on the momentum that this has created, because this too will become a distant memory for some. But we cannot allow it to become a distant memory for us. We must dedicate hours to signing every petition, to texting Floyd to 55156, texting justice to 668-366, donating to bail bonds and foundations, supporting Black-owned businesses and historically Black institutions, encouraging our Black youth to pursue politics and break barriers of leadership representation in this country. Parents, we need you to fight too. No matter your race, your background, your religious or political affiliations, we need your voices and your advocacy as us, young people, are trying to make a change in this world. Lastly, I want you all to hear and understand this. The glorification race and the consequent debasement of another always has been and always will be a recipe for disaster. There is no way around this. If one is permitted to treat any group of people with special disfavor because of their own race or the color of their skin, there is no limit to what one will force them to endure. And since the entire race has mysteriously been indicted, not any reason not to attempt to destroy it root and branch. James Baldwin. Black lives matter today, and they will matter tomorrow. But it is our job to make sure that they matter forever. And we will not allow there to be peace until there is justice. Thank you all, you beautiful
Okay. Where's that at today? Where's this at? I hear what she's saying. I hear it loud and clear. Where is this at? What's that fight? I hear it, but I'm hearing fight for everybody. Let me read some of your comments. Forecast, you said, unfortunately, she'll probably be the next Angela Davis. Pretty much. You think they're not recruiting her already? Either you're going to calm it down or we're going to take care of you. A lot of our civil rights people like Al Sharpton, Angela Davis, Jesse, all of them, they suckers. The new Black Panther, suckers. The only one that I saw that wasn't doing it was right here. That's the only one. But we called him a traitor. We didn't back him up. When he was going for court, everybody should have showed up. And we didn't. Because what we do, we cowered out. Like we always do. They put they foot on somebody's neck. What we do? We, oh man, you well, I'm praying for you. I'm praying in here in Mississippi. I'm praying in Canada. I'm praying over here in Michigan. I'm praying in Chicago. I'm praying in New York. We should have been praying right there on that step. We should have been right there to back our brother. As many people as you saw right there, that's how many should have been out there with their guns, the same way marching, making sure that he was being treated properly. We didn't even know how he was being treated. We didn't even care because he was an agent, remember? But Tariq Nasheed you can support him, give him millions of dollars for a damn museum that does nothing for you. I'm just saying. We dropped the ball, family. We dropped the ball. What Erica say? I think this is our fault. We should have taught our young the truth, and we didn't. Because we didn't know the truth, Erica. We didn't know the truth. We didn't know the truth. We thought it was good. We was doing our thing. We was making our money. We were moving in these half-white neighborhoods, sending our children to all-white schools, thinking their education was going to be better. Did they get the better education? Did they get better education? What they got? They got tormented. Black folk back in the day was sending their children to this all-white school. The teachers and the students was against those students, those black students. So our children had to fight double. You had to fight the teachers, then you had to fight the students, then you had to fight, Come on. We put our children in a lion's den, and we were okay with it because we thought they were going to treat our kids good. We thought they were, excuse me, you guys, I got to get some water. I didn't bring the glass in here. Yes, okay, y'all see me drinking out the bottle. Sorry. I know I hate that. I usually have to have my glass. Sorry, y'all. But we dropped our kids off to these white supremacists, right? Just like that baby who walked in that school by herself. What was her parents? Please help me out. That baby, 6 years old, had to fight a whole... I'm trying to help myself. I'm trying to watch them. I'm trying to just... She had to fight a whole mob of white supremacy. A 6-year-old baby walking through this mob. What was her parents? You want your child to go to a white school, but you allowed... What was the mental illness there? What was the mental illness there that you would allow your baby to walk inside of a school by herself? She's 6 years old, and you allow her to do it unattended. Who does that? You think that would have been me with my daughter by herself? For one, I wouldn't have been there in the first place. She wouldn't have been the first black nothing nowhere around the white folk by herself. I don't care. The teacher, she wouldn't have definitely been with that teacher by herself. That's how much trust we had in these white folks. Do you see the mental illness there? That's how much trust we had with them, that we allowed our babies. We left them in the room alone with them, knowing how they felt about you. But we thought that was the best day of their life, to allow white folk, white supremacists, to get to your black minds, your children's at that. And now look what they're teaching them. Oh, they're going to get them. That's the best thing y'all could have did, was gave us y'all babies. Ooh, boy, y'all was some big dummies. Y'all let y'all enemies educate y'all children. Are we crazy? Was we lose what? We done lost our damn minds. So look at what they've done with our babies' minds. Look at what they've done with our babies' minds. I did a show the other week. When they get to our babies, what do they do with them? When we allow them to educate and when we allow them to adopt our children, what do they do with them? We see the results. But some people say, well, they got a loving home. What the hell about is a loving home when you dressing a little baby up in who's a boy in a dress? Is that a loving home for real? Was that a loving home? That's what somebody said to me. That they dressed him up in a loving home. I got you, Bakari. We dressed him up in a loving home. I'm gonna stop sharing. Hey, Bakari, welcome.
You going in?
You got the flow, bro.
But you're telling the truth, right? You're telling the truth about what you say. When I was listening, because I'm in and out, I was cooking dinner and whatnot, and I didn't even get the notification. I put that in the chat. I did miss a lot because YouTube didn't even notify me. But I hear the little girl telling, and I heard you talking about people who married out, but say they fighting for black folk. And, and I don't know if you said Maya Angelou or not, right? But she married out 2 white men. I don't know the woman name who was Catwoman, but they say they fighting for black folks. Then Sidney Poitier, Bill Russell, Harry Belafonte. But they say their focus is on black people. I don't, it's impossible for your focus to be on black people and the black family when you haven't created a black family. Then I hear the young lady, and I put it in the chat, she's quoting James Baldwin. The same James Baldwin that had a white boyfriend wrote a book about Nat Turner saying Nat Turner was gay. So, in these are the things that we're taught. But I saw what Erica said, we wouldn't tell the truth. Now, for me, and this is why I always say I thank God for the parents I had, because I was told the truth. That's why I can tell people now the same arguments that I hear now when people talking about that's old. That's how I know these arguments ain't new. Because I had somebody taught me about them people. You ain't gonna ever have no white friend. You're gonna have some you might have to deal with, but they ain't gonna ever be your friend. Just remember that your friends is your people. You come home with a black woman. If she ain't black, don't bring her to my house, period. Right? Sometimes you can teach your children and they'll go away from what you taught them. I don't know, you can go so hard where you push them away, I guess, or they just think they're smarter. I don't know what it is. But then when we talk about the teaching of the people of color, we have to think about some of the people that our community has put on a pedestal. Now, would I ride with Fred Hampton? Yes. But Fred Hampton did have the Rainbow Coalition flag where everybody was coming together. The new black, means not the Black Panthers in Oakland. That's what it was. They brought everybody in for whatever reason, as if everybody was going to fight for us. I think our problem is we still haven't understood, don't care what it is. Those people, they want power and control. And we are looking for friends. And that is something that we don't understand about these people. Once we bring them around, we think you can change the nature of a lion. You cannot change a lion's nature. You can just go look and see how these people have these tame lions and all of a sudden they just go off. I'm gonna eat your ass. Or look at the gay folks in Vegas that do the shows with the tiger, and the dude just got mad. The tiger just got mad. Like, shit, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna eat you. They can be around you forever, but you cannot change nature. You can't change the nature of a beast. We have two different natures because we are different people. We are different people. We are different species of human. They do what their ancestors did. And unfortunately for us, we do what our ancestors did. And when I say unfortunately, we are friendly. We'll still feed you. We'll show you how, and we still haven't figured out being nice to people. That's what has hurt us. But we did what our ancestors did, and they do what their ancestors did. And it's time for us, and the ones that has figured it out, we just gonna have to get away and be alone. Hopefully the other ones see it and catch on. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you for coming. But I do agree. We're gonna have to build our own. But we have to start educating our own children. We have to start being truthful with them. It's time. We dropped the ball, and I do apologize. I have to apologize to mine, because we talked Black. We talked, we had that talk, right? But I still need to apologize to our Black children because some parents didn't, and they still not talking. And they still will tell me, when I get on some of these channels and they say, oh, we got a rainbow family, and they proud of the rainbow family. And I'm like, and these are adults that are, our ages, and they are proud to have a rainbow family. We have everybody in our family. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, are you proud of that? That's nothing to be proud of. You have animals. These beasts these cave beasts, these cave snow people are very dangerous people. They've always been dangerous to us, always. But we seem to have forgotten. And we'll sit up there, we'll love on them. And, even when I went to Africa, I remember the young lady that was telling the story about how her white husband came over there, and this dude was dysfunctional, took her back to Germany and stole her baby. And other lady was pregnant by him. That woman died. We don't even know how she died. He got her baby and the lady that died baby. So it sent her back to and this is what they do. They come over there and they, enticing these young girls with all this money or what they think is a whole lot of money, and then they take them back and they abuse them and they stay. Because I seen one African girl, she's talking about, he's abusing her and she got a nice house and, children and, but she's going to stay because she don't want to go back to nothing. My thing is I'm going to be nothing, but trust me, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be, not beaten on. I'm not going to be abused. So what? You should have been saving money, stashing money all this time you've been with him. You could have been stashing money. You don't just, sit there and still continue allowing him to have that total control. If you're going to come up. You're going to do what you need to do. But my thing is we have to begin to be honest with our children. We have to continue telling them these are not people that you want to bring in your family. They don't even treat these babies that they're having. So many mixed girls have come on Twitter and Facebook and all these TikToks and talking about how dysfunctional their parents are, how the household was after them Black dads left them there, and how bad they was being treated by these white folk. We have to understand that they will never change. Family, they will never change. They don't know how. They've never changed over the history. Go back and look at the Roman culture. Go look and see how many they were killing each other before they thought about killing Black folk. They was killing off each other. Okay. Then they shipped them off to America. And then they started, coming over here. And then they saw the Indians, what they call Indians, and they murdered thousands of them. Then they turned around and said, oh, we're going to call this Thanksgiving. Okay. And Black folks, yeah, we're going to call it Thanksgiving. We're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah. Oh my God. We're so thankful. Not even understand what Thanksgiving meant. Okay. That was the killing of Indians. And I'm not saying, some Black folk, indigenous. Okay, I get it. But we still have to understand that some of those Indians had an issue with Black folk. Okay, we have to understand that because they was paying those Indians back in the day some money to capture Black folk. And some of them Black folk weren't even allowed to mix and mingle with other Black Indians. I'm just saying. So we were so proud to say, oh my God, we're Indians. Well, you proud to say you look like the $5 Indians? Those were not the originals. The original Indians looked just like me. My grandfather was one of them. My grandma married a Cherokee, right? And that dude was abusive, and he was, I could tell you a whole story, but I'm not gonna do that. But I'm just saying these men were not all of what, we proud to be Indians, but those Indians, some of them were very mean individuals. I'm just saying, so we have to get back to the place of how are we going to put it back on track? How I did this story so that we can understand what's happening even now, right up under our nose. These kids, I guarantee you, they're watching them. I guarantee you, yeah, you might be an activist, but I wish they would come up with more movements than being an activist. An activist, you put yourself in harm. You put yourself out there. You put yourself saying, yeah, I'm an activist. No, create a movement. Stop being an activist and create movements, global movements. That's what Black folk need right now. We need a global movement of us educating our own children, a global movement of us having our own school. And I keep telling you, there is a school, Zykes Institute. That's a school. Excuse me, Q Butter talks about that school all the time. He's on YouTube all the time talking about the school, talking about Zykes Institute. Yes, it's online for now, but guess what? If you have enough people in your area, I keep telling you, Georgia, you can have a school with Q Butter, Zykes Institute in Georgia. You can have one in Chicago. If you have enough people supporting that school, you can have a school, and it don't take. But if you can support Tariq Nasheed that gave you absolutely nothing but a museum, you can support Q Butter, who has a Black school for our Black babies to go to. They have totally miseducated our babies. Totally. You can have Black little boys that come out of high school and can't even read. How the hell you go through high school and can't even read? You go through they are not promising to educate your children. They only want your Black minds. They only want your baby's Black bodies. And now they're teaching your baby LGBT, masturbation, yes, masturbation, penetration, all of these books. Who, why? What is your, really, let's look at that. If you were teaching my son masturbation, penetration, anal, okay, sex, sodomy, what do you teach? Why? What's the angle? What do you think the angle is? Okay, this is what they're teaching our children. And parents, you're not upset about that? Or did you not even know that this is what they're teaching our children? You got same-sex books, ABCs, okay? You got same-sex books, and they're starting from elementary. It's not middle school, it's elementary. They want your Black minds, and they got them. And we're not even trying to change that scenario. We're not even trying to do anything about it. We're still we trust in white folk. I don't know what happened. We're just trusting and we brain dead or something. I don't know. We can't do nothing about it. What do you mean you can't do nothing about it? Do you understand what they're teaching your child? Do you understand what's really getting ready to happen with your child? You got them really harping on this transgender stuff. You really have what's the little boy, Zion? What's her name? What's his name? What's that ball player? His son. Come on, Bakari. What's that boy name?
Ja Morant.
Who?
You talking about Ja Morant?
Is his son like a transgender, Black?
Oh, you talking about Dwayne Wade?
Okay, him. Who was married to Gabrielle? Him, right? His son. They went to Africa. America is really upset because they can't get to Africa. They can't get to their mindset. They can't get anybody to penetrate Africa. They really want that continent. They are really trying to transgender that continent. Okay, they are really trying to get. Yes, thank you. Oh, okay, Devani here. Yes, they're really trying to. I put the link in here. They're really trying to. They're really trying to get Africa, right? You have to understand when white folk trying that hard to get another country, another group of people. Why? We have to understand what's it all about. What is it all about? They're not just trying to get them just to give them no money. They're not just trying we just want to bless Africa right now. Everything they do for Africa is contingent on transgender, that agenda. You have to understand when white folk do anything for you, it's for your detriment. It is not for you to grow. But I'm gonna tell you what, I keep telling you, when we went to their schools, that was the best thing we could have did for them. Okay, because now they get our minds, they get to teach and train our babies and whatever it is they want to do. They want to lead us into whatever. They've led us, hook, line, and sinker. We've gone willingly. So we, like Erica said, we can only blame ourselves right now. We can only blame ourselves for what we're doing and what's going on in our communities right now. Because we're not slaves. We're $1.2 trillion. Okay, Black people in America are the richest among any nation. Black folks in America, worth $1.2 trillion, is the richest in any nation globally. Okay, and Africa, most of those countries look at Black Americans as being rich. Okay, you go over there and they, want to do all this crazy, pricing and price gouging. And I'm not saying everybody, but when you go, you have to have a friend to be able to talk those prices down for you. But we have to understand what's really going on, and we have to fix this. We have to fix this. This is on us. We have to get it together, and we need globally to finance Q Butter School, or I think there's other Black schools out there also that has a Black agenda. We have to really understand what those schools are standing for. We need to support them schools. Shame on you if you gave some money to Tariq Nasheed and you did not participate in a fund drive or a fundraiser as for Q Butter School. Because I know at one point he had a fund drive, and I interviewed him probably 2 years ago. If I can get him back on here, I'll see if we can do another fund drive, funds or whatever you do, fund road or whatever it is. Maybe we can do something again for his school, because I do believe that we need to go hard with this thing as far as us educating our own babies. I do believe that this is the time where we are, and it's time for us to educate us. Seriously, like no other, just like we go hard on this water, we need to go hard on these schools. Seriously, because it is time for us to do for us, and it is time for us to really go in on educating our own. Because like I said, we've dropped the ball, but we can fix it. It's never too late. It's never too late. We can fix it, but it's going to take us convincing Black folk that they've destroyed our babies' minds. They've destroyed our children. A lot of this stuff we didn't see coming. A lot of this stuff we thought it was okay when they're going to these half-white schools, and we thought it was going to be good. But look now, we have people of color. We're called people of color now. We allow them to tell us what we're going to be called next. No, we're not people of color. We will never be people of color. We are Black folk or melanated people. We are not people of color. People of color does not mean Black people, and we have to stop allowing them, allowing them to call us people of color, because that's not who we are. We have to start standing on us Black folk and calling them out when we see them trying to gaslight, because they'll gaslight in a minute. But we have to stop them from doing that. And what is the plan? What is your plan? What is the plan for us to get this thing on the right track? Does anybody here have a plan? I want to start with putting it out there that I'm going to really try to get Q Butter back on here so that we can do a fundraiser for him. So that we can. And then when I put it out here, I want you guys to advertise it on your pages so that we can get really go in on us educating our own babies. And that's where I am right now. And this is what I do. I do these educational shows. I want it to be educational. I'm getting ready to do a CRT episode for the next few videos. I really want us to understand CRT and why is it so important? Why do they really want to drown that out? Why? Globally, right now, it's almost like they are on a tangent to stop CRT from being taught to their children, their children. Okay. You want to hide your history. This is what you did. You made our children uncomfortable since forever. You make every day you make our children uncomfortable. But when it comes to their children, what? They don't want us to make their children uncomfortable. But they make our children uncomfortable and haven't been doing since forever. So when are we going to get to the place where we're making their children uncomfortable? CRT is a plan where we have to start allowing their stuff and their history to come out. And that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. So what do you think about what I'm saying, Bakari?
Well, I agree with that. If you can get somebody, we can raise some money to help their school, and they got a real school. I've heard, like I said, I've donated to Q Butter School. And I absolutely agree with that. And if you're going to do your series on CRT and why it should be and why it should be taught, I support you 100% in doing that. I would be right here as long as I know it's on, because as long as you send it to me, because YouTube don't like to notify me. But that's another story. But I would be right here supporting you, and I would support the fundraiser for Q Butters. For Q Butter School. I'm gonna tell you one thing I thought about it. Me and one of my homeboys was talking about this, right? And I got to call King Randall because he said he's gonna come on my channel. That's the guy from around Savannah, Georgia, that got the school.
Yes, he does have a school. I forgot about him. Yes,
Yeah,
we can do both schools. Why not just do both schools? But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you cool. He's a good brother. Q Butter and Dr. Umar, and any other Black schools we have. I think it would be easier if we would create, even though they're in different states, I think it would be easier if we had us a black like school district. So that way we not trying to spread the money out over this school, this school, this school. Somebody putting $1 here, $2 here, $2 to the $10 to that school. We have one pot and raise the money and share the money amongst the schools, like a school district. You know, we could help with books, we could help with pen and paper, we could help with some of the students' tuition. And those are some of the things that is something like one school district would be absolutely great. You know, instead of having the independent schools, then when we have all these independent schools, sometimes the schools become, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes they too expensive for our people to go to. Like I was looking at this one school, I forget where it is. I can't remember. It may have been here in Atlanta, but it was like $10,000 a year. It's a black private. It was a black school, independent school, but in all honesty, a lot of our people can't afford to give $10,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? So if we was to create a school district, being throughout different states, and when you donate and when we raising money, we're raising money for the school district, right? So then, because I'm gonna be honest, I think that, well, I know there's a few athletes that make a little money that want to donate, right? It's even some now that's been talking publicly that knowing they're about to go to the league and make them some money and saying they want to put in a pot to help build a black community. So instead of everybody going to him or going to these people one at a time, right? Now we go together and you put it in a pot and it's for all of us. You understand what I'm saying? And we are creating a better situation. And we are creating a better situation for our youth. We will have more opportunity, because if we do it, the only thing it can do is grow. If we real about this and we keep teaching our youth, and when you was talking about people can't read, we have to start teaching young. See, we can teach our youth young, and when we teach them young, as they get older in the reading, all that, and I tell people your education just ain't your book. Your education is your culture, who you're around, the people that you're dealing with. It's a natural education. So once we get away from each other, I don't care how many books you read, if you get away from each other, you're losing out on real natural education, because you're forgetting who you are and you're accepting others people's culture and you're marrying out and you don't want to deal with your own. And on that note, Cassandra, thanks me for letting me come up and speak. I'm going to continue to listen offline, and I got to finish down here banging these pots.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bakari. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. But we need to talk a little bit more about, I was even thinking about, when I was thinking, when he was talking, I was like, well, each school has their own GoFundMe set up. I think that'll be a good way of doing it. What do you guys think? Let me know. I think that'll be a really good way to do it. Okay. To allow us to just participate and give money to whatever school that you want to give money to. Say, for instance, if we did the King, I have never talked to the King Randall. I've never talked to him, but I'll reach out to him to see if he wants to be a part of this fundraiser. And I know I can get to Cuba. I'll talk to him. And Dr. Umar, I can get to both of them. But King Randall, I've never actually talked to them. But I will check to see. And I think, what do you guys think? I think it'll be better because I don't want to touch any of the money. I don't want to have nothing to do with the money. I'm sorry. But I do believe that I'm thinking while I'm talking, so y'all bear with me. I don't know King Randall, but I just believe that if we allow them to do their own GoFundMe, what do you guys think? Then that way, whoever school, they'll come on here, represent their school, talk about their school, and whatever, whatever school you want to support, you support. That's what I think. I don't want to have nothing to do with the money. I don't, because this is their school, not mine. but I want to be able to for us to really go hard with this school representation and with us, supporting our own and supporting. If we can do it for Tariq Nasheed, now we may raise millions of dollars for him. I'm just saying, why can't we raise it? Hold on, you guys. Okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to. Somebody was asking me something. So, but I think that would just be the best way to do it. And I'm gonna try to get this going within the next, I don't know, month or two, couple weeks. I don't know, whenever they have time. I'm really on their time, so whenever I can get, and I might just do each one of them. Maybe I'll just do one that day, and they'll give you their GoFundMe. I do want to, maybe I'll give you their GoFundMe, and then if that day you could just support that day, and then the next week we'll have Umar on, and then the next week we'll have King Randall on. So we'll do 3 different shows, maybe supporting the one. I think I'm just throwing stuff out here because I don't really know how to do it, but I do believe that we should support our own schools. And I want to introduce somebody to you guys. She's doing something that I think a lot of us Black people should be doing, and it's kind of getting out of their system. Okay. She's, she knows about this stuff. So I'm going to bring her on, and she's going to just introduce the program or introduce what she's doing or what we need to do. Because I do believe that we need to change our nationality. I do believe that. Now, I don't know how many people know anything about this, but she is going to explain and talk to us about this. And I'm going to bring her up now, so that we can get some information. Hey, Dee, how are you today?
I'm doing good, doing good. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad that you were able to join me. She's going to talk. I'm going to let you introduce what your program is and introduce what you're trying to do, and then kind of help us to understand what we as Black people need to be doing right about now. So I'll give you the floor.
Okay. Which program are you talking about?
You know we talked about.
Okay. So you're talking about the status correction.
Yes.
So I'm not familiar how many people that's on here or who all know anything about the status correction.
What is the status correction, if you could tell us?
Well, the status correction is where you're going in and you are taking back your ownership of your name. When we were born, our parents basically signed us over to the United States, and then we became a corporation.
Mhm.
Basically, it's like a ponds. That's how they make money off of us. Our social security number and our birth certificate is what's basically making money. We are considered minors to the United States, although we're grown. I'm not don't know if you all are even familiar with the court system. You know that you don't even own your own children.
Right.
And
Why is that? How does that happen? How do we have babies
that's
that we don't even own?
it happens because once you have your child, when our parents had us, they signed the birth certificate.
Uh-huh.
And when they signed the birth certificate, they basically signed us over, like I said, over to the United States.
Oh, wow.
And we became theirs.
Mhm.
So that's why they have all of these laws and everything that you have to abide by, which are man's laws. They're not God's law.
Right.
And one thing that the Lord showed me, the Most High showed me in this process, is that when Nicodemus asked, "How can a man be born again?"
Mm-hmm.
And when he gave me the scripture, John 3:3, you know, it kind of woke me up. It shook me because, we know that you cannot go back and enter into your parents' womb, your mother's womb, to be
Uh-huh.
born again. And so, one thing, I always tell you, Cassie, how I always say we taking back everything that the devil stole from us. Well, first we got to realize who the devil is. Who is our enemy?
Yeah.
And yes, they have stole everything. They have stole our nationality. They stole who we are and everything,
Mm-hmm.
from us. They stole our DNA. They stole our blood. They
Mm-hmm.
stole our follow anything that they took when we was a baby. You want to rightfully go back in and reclaim all of that.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what I got out of being born again. Not going down to the altar, confessing, and how we say we taking back everything that the enemy stole from us, but in reality we're really not. It's just a saying that we have adapted to growing up in church, or what we have heard other people say, because you really can't take back nothing that belongs to the corporation of the United States.
Okay.
Because we can say it, but long as you're getting their license, their permits, anything that you have to pay for um to them, then you're still up under their jurisdiction.
Mhm.
And so we have to go in and claim that,
How do you
take
do
that
that?
back.
What does that, when we say claim that, what does that mean?
um I'm gonna show you. I don't know if I showed you all on here or not. My husband brought my folder in. But y'all, I be doing so much, and I just have papers everywhere. Cassie know me. I do, but the main thing is going in, getting your birth certificate,
Uh-huh.
and you want to get your birth certificate authenticated. Some people say you don't have to,
Uh-huh.
um, but I have mine. Mine and my kids' birth certificate are authenticated.
Why do some people say we do and then some people don't? So do we really have to authenticate our birth certificates or not?
Well, the reason some say you do, because that's part of taking back what was basically so given to the United States, or however you want to put it out there. Um, so and then and I guess it depends on what status correction that you go up under. Because
Okay.
some people are up under the state national
Mm-hmm.
status correction, and some up under the Moore's correction status correction.
Uh-huh.
So and the Moore's correction status correction comes from the peace treaty of I think it's the Love and Peace. That's
Uh-huh.
one peace treaty that has never been broken. And when that peace treaty was said, again, it has never been broken like many other treaties has been broken, but that is one that stands. But if I could, I'm gonna show y'all. Guess I don't know how to do it, but I'm finna learn. But this is my birth certificate that's authenticated.
Okay.
And so whatever your home state is and where you were born, that's where you'll get your birth certificate from, and that's where you'll get it authenticated at.
Uh-huh.
And then I mean it's a lot. It's paperwork after paperwork to get done, because you all United States went broke in 1933.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since they have been broke, we're not up under gold and silver as
Okay.
everything once was.
Okay.
Legal tender up under gold and silver.
Uh-huh.
And we know that money is not even real.
Well, we know they're getting ready to do a reset now, and they're doing it even now with the digital whatever. Would that
Right.
affect us doing this process?
Well, I don't really think that it will. I'm still, like I say, asking questions on that part,
Mm-hmm.
because you do hear people say, um, you got to do X, Y, Z, which one thing they was talking about is first they were saying status correction, everybody should have that done by January.
Uh-huh.
And then they were saying now that you need to establish your account through the treasury. And the reason for your establishing.
Your phone is going out, D.
What about now?
Okay, that's better.
And the reason you're changing these getting these accounts is because once you get your status changed,
Uh-huh.
you can submit to become your own banker, basically.
Okay.
That's one of the process, because the United States is supposed to be paying for everything for us. We're not even supposed to be in debt. None of this is our debt. It's the United States debt. But they take it and they put it all on us. And so therefore we're in debt. And That's why we so stressed in all of this. Everything that the Bible say we shouldn't be, we are because of the United States.
Yes.
And so it is this matrix, this, thing that is big. This rabbit hole, as I heard them say, is so deep, and we know once you're in something, it's hard to get out. So the more we learn in this process to try to come out of it, the more they're implementing all these laws to try to keep you from getting out of it.
So
So,
if we come out of it, what is the benefit of coming out of it?
well, the benefit of
If
coming
it-
out of it, you're living in the private.
Mhm.
You won't have anything to do with United States. That's why you see a lot of people that's living, what they call those people,
Off grid?
off grid, but they call them something else. They live in these parishes or whatever they call them,
Uh-huh.
but they living off grid because they are living in the private. So
Uh-huh.
therefore, they're not having anything to do with the United States. Some stuff you won't have a choice, like I was told because of Social Security, my disability, and everything. All that's old business. That's money that I've worked for. So I don't have to relinquish that unless I choose it to.
Okay.
So that would be considered old business.
Okay.
But once you start this process,
Mhm.
that'll be a little bit different. And so it's a way to live in the public, and then it's a way to live in the private at the same time.
Okay. What about working, and if you're living in a private, as far as a job, as far as will we have to still do that? Or
No, you still work. You still can work. And when you work, take her out. And when you work, it's a form that you can fill out
Mhm.
for IRS not to take any taxes out on you, because we do know that taxes, you don't have to pay them. That's just something that, again, it's a man's made law. But you have to let the IRS, if you go on the IRS website and you read these forms, everything's in them forms. It tells you everything right there.
Mhm.
So you just have to read the forms and know what to do. If you're a tax preparer, you probably know what most of these forms say. And then, and you was on talking earlier about school.
Mhm.
When we was in school, we was always taught the Webster's dictionary,
Yeah.
and all of that. Well, I would encourage everybody to get a Black's Law Dictionary, because
Ooh.
that's the dictionary that they use for everything.
You said a Black Law
The
Dictionary?
Black Law Dictionary.
Okay.
That's the dictionary that they use, and that dictionary, it has everything. This is when you go to court. They referencing these laws. This is how they make the laws and stuff. And you have to go in. You have to read them. You have to know them. The UCC codes. This is how these codes and stuff are established. Um. So, but this is my book. I don't know if you all can see it or not.
Let me
Let me
see.
see. How do I turn my camera? I cut it off.
You should see a little circle thingy at the top, or just show the book. You could just show the
Okay,
book.
but this is my Black's Law Dictionary,
Okay.
and I have 11th edition. And
Where'd you
this
get
is
that from?
Amazon.
How much was it?
This book was 100 and I think it was 160, 169, one of them.
Okay.
But you can find them used. You can find them cheaper.
Uh-huh.
Some people say get the 4th edition. Some say get the 6th edition. I say get whatever you can find, because they're trying to remove all of them, to be honest with you. And the only way you're having access to these
Uh-huh.
is that if you're beginning to take law school and stuff, that's what they're trying to do. That's why I say the more you learn, the more they're trying to take away.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it's all there. It's just all there, even down to your Social Security.
Mm-hmm.
You get your Social Security card. You look on the back of your Social Security card. You got those red numbers on the back. You probably have a letter and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So it'll stop at L. You won't see nobody's social security card past L. And the reason why is because we know it's 12 reserve banks. So your social security number, whatever letter is on the back of your social security card,
Uh-huh.
9 times out of 10, that's the Federal Reserve that owns your social security number.
Okay.
That's making money off of you daily. Your social security number is being traded on the stock market daily.
Let me ask you a question. Why is Black people so afraid of new information? Why are they so afraid of this information that you're giving me now? A lot of black folk are very afraid of this information, afraid to try anything new, and they're just like, oh my God, this is, something that, to be afraid of. Why aren't we researching to make sure or to see? This is just the idea. I'm just introducing something to you guys. And Bitter Medicine said these things have to be detailed well. Yes, I believe everything that people tell you.
Very well detailed.
You have to do your research. You have to understand the Black codes and the Black UCC codes. And I've been going over UCC codes. You have to really study. There are like several little small books that you can get to even start to do investigating. Just do research. But I want us to really dig a little deeper into this. And what do you think about doing classes or doing some extra, understanding, and us possibly maybe not doing it here, but maybe doing it on maybe a Zoom. Maybe you and I can, hook up on a Zoom and invite other people to be able to get more understanding, more information if they want. Would that be something you'd be interested in doing?
Of course. I mean, anything help God's people.
Right.
So,
So,
and to answer your question, when you said why you feel people are afraid,
yeah.
and I think someone had probably just asked that question about knowing basically what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to jail.
Right.
And as simple as that. And the reason I say it like that is because they making it hard for us to become free. That's what they're doing. And Cassie, I tell you this all the time about Donald Trump. And I think that's why they can't touch that man, because that man is fighting them with these same laws. So they say they're going to indict him, X, Y, and Z. They do this and they do that, but they cannot touch that man because the same UCC codes and the same laws, all that, that's what that man is fighting them with. And it's either that.
I think it's a distraction, more or less. Also, I think that has a lot to do with it too, though.
And then again, I told you I still think that man is the president. I don't care what nobody says. That's why they keep saying they cannot put a sitting president in jail. It's all a cover up.
He already asked if he could be president. He could run again.
That's just me. That's just how I feel, because there is no way that someone like this, if that was one of us doing it, you couldn't be him. You gone.
He would have been in jail a long time ago.
Why is it that this man is escaping all of this? You know what I'm saying? We know skin color may have a lot to do with it, but also I think that man is fighting them with the same laws. And again, and it's not only the African Americans, the Black, the colored, the Negroes, or whatever you want to call it. We're not the only ones that's doing this process.
I think white people have already done it. I've met a lot of white people.
Most of them have, and most of them that have done it and got remedy, most of them are deceased. So what we're learning now are,
and they didn't pass on the information,
the paper trail that's coming out now.
Yeah.
So and that's why I say the laws have changed since a lot of them. So that's why it's very important that you study. It's just like you being your own lawyer, because if you ever have to go to court, behind this process, you're gonna have to know these laws. That's why it's important to study.
Yeah.
And also the UCC codes is your best friend in this process outside the Black's Law Dictionary.
Yes.
Studying that. And I mean, y'all, it's very interesting. It's a very tedious process, but It's a learning process. It's good information. It's just you got to know how to separate what's for me, what's not for me. Do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it?
Mhm.
You know, and the word says that the Lord do not give us a spirit of fear.
Right.
So what they do, they plant fear behind it by threatening to you can go to jail, you know, and stuff like that, because they know that if we plant this fear, these people are not going to do it.
Right. And I think over the whole conversation we've had, they've planted fear and they're doing it every day amongst Black people, stopping us from rising, stopping us from doing anything to free our own people. And anything that looks new is, oh my God, people, Black folk go crazy. Oh my God, you're gonna get us killed. And I'm like, you're already dying. So what do you mean we're gonna get you killed? You're already dying. Seriously. So it's time now to get the understanding of maybe another way of doing it. And I do believe that if we change our nationality, I do believe that that has a lot to do with why we don't or have not or are not getting reparations right now. Because you know everybody else, the Mexicans come in here, they're Mexicans. The Indians come in here, they're Indians. Black people come here, we're what? Black folk. We're not a culture. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that we have to have some type of nationality, and
Yeah.
that's what
You have to go back and claim it, because like I said, if you don't claim your nationality, you're still considered property of the United States. You're
Mhm,
that chattel property
mhm.
that you know they say that you are. So you have to go back in and claim that right. You
I
know,
just, I
in
think.
other words, you
Mhm,
are in an abandoned property.
mhm,
If you have not changed your correction,
uh-huh.
you are considered an abandoned property, so you are property of the United States. And before I go, I'm gonna give y'all this one analogy that I use, and it's one book. Cass, I don't know if you have it. I don't have it. My sister has it,
Uh,
but it's called The Straw Man.
oh,
Everybody
I've
should
seen it.
read that book and start from there.
Mhm,
But and the Redemption Manual. But in the Redemption Manual, it talks about the Matrix. If you ever looked at the Matrix and what's going on now, the monopoly of the world, it'll break it down. But when I read the Redemption Manual, and it was talking about the Wizard of Oz,
oh, okay.
and the Wizard of Oz, if you notice, came out in 1939, and America went broke in 1933.
Mhm,
But the way that I got the scenario with that when I was reading it is that you have Dorothy, Toto, the lion, the Tin Man, and the straw man.
mhm, mhm.
So when you take that and you look at it, and if you go back and you read what at the beginning, the witch, I think it was the friend, tried to say that Toto bit her,
Mhm.
right?
Uh-huh.
She wanted Toto removed from Dorothy.
Uh-huh.
So what Dorothy did, what a parent would do, is take their child and flee basically to
Uh-huh.
try to protect their child.
Mhm.
So in my midst of reading that, you know, that's the way I was looking at it. When Department of Social Service comes in, they come in and they believe a lie
Yeah.
to try to remove your child from your home.
Yeah.
So
But do you remember it was one case where it was a lady that had two children. One child was had birth certificate and the other child did not. The one that had the birth certificate, when she did, it was something the woman did, not allowing her to go. It was something that there was a small issue, and they came and took the child with the
mhm,
birth certificate, and the one that did not have the birth certificate, they left that child with her. So that showed me right
because that
there.
child didn't belong to the United States, but the one with the
Exactly.
birth certificate did.
Right.
So that's why they can come in your home. They can take your children. They can tell you what you need to do.
Yeah.
If they miss an X amount of days of school, you know, they want to intervene and stuff. That's why. But in the midst of reading that story, and I thought about it, you know, the Dorothy, Toto, and the lion, you notice all of them basically had a soul or whatever you want to call it. The
Mm-hmm.
Tin Man was just 10,
Mm-hmm.
and the Straw Man was just straw. They had nothing that could really be taken, you know, from them basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the midst of me reading that, you know, I was like, wow, this whole time we look at this stuff, it's right here in our right
Right.
in
They
front
put
of
it right
us.
in your face. They do. Everything is in your face.
Right,
And you don't even know what you're looking at.
right in front of us. And it's just crazy, that we don't want to wake up to it. I've heard about this process, I say probably about 10, 15 years ago. But I was so heavily rooted into Christianity
Yeah.
that I didn't even want to take part of it, you
Yeah.
know. And so, you try to abide by the laws and everything, but they breaking the law
Every day.
to try to make you follow their laws.
Every day.
And so when you go back and think about the maritime law, the law of the Bible, and everything. So it's a good process. It's a tedious process, but you have to have a mindset.
grandbaby.
Hold on, y'all. Yeah, my grandbabies are here. Hold on.
Go ahead. I want to show you guys something. This is one lady that I follow on TikTok, and she's been. Hold on, you guys. I want you guys to see this here.
Secret.
Hold on.
They don't want you to know.
Look at this.
Have you ever been denied credit?
Listen.
Did you ever apply for something using your social security number and the bank or the company said no? Well, how rude. Given the fact that the entire consumer transaction is predicated on your unlimited credit, how rude. Here's the code. Title 15, subsection 1611. False and misleading denial of my own credit. Yes. And for extra sauce, ask to speak to the underwriter and give the underwriter that code. See what happens.
You know what?
Underwriter.
And see this. Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on.
You want a listing of all of the factors that were involved in this consumer transaction. It's not a credit transaction. It is a consumer transaction because you wanted to access a portion of your unlimited credit. Don't cry over spilled milk. Y'all better go and take your power back. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm giving you all that I can on a public forum. Please do not ask any 1,000,001 questions. Go and take what I give you and run with it. Meaning, do your own research and then come back here and feed us what you discovered.
See, you know what? This lady here, I follow her often, okay? On but I'm listening to what she says. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to stop it. And she also said one more thing that I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys something. Lord. Hold on. It's one more thing I want to show you guys, and then I'm gonna let you finish, D, because I know you have to go with the grandbabies. Wanted you guys to hear one more thing she says about child support. Listen to this one. Oh shoot, hold on.
Was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court decisions are a judge's Achilles heel. It is their death knell. When you find Supreme Court decisions supporting your case, it's a wrap. Okay, let me read it to you. It's delicious. Okay, child support was declared unconstitutional in a Minnesota Supreme Court ruling for violating the separation of powers required by the Minnesota Constitution in Article 3, Section 1. Further, child support agencies' actions are also unconstitutional due to lack of probable cause. You don't even have to find case law. Just quote everything that I just said, put that in a notice, and send that to the clerk of court.
Oh, dang gone.
And notate your case number if it's in the court, or send it to the child support agency with your case number with the child support agency or the court. It's a wrap. It's a thing of beauty. But yes, you can learn how to legally close your own child support case by holding the child support agency accountable to their own laws. It's just that simple, y'all. Go to my website. It's AmeliaSutton.com.
Okay.
Please remember to...
Okay. I just wanted to just show you a couple things. I'm giving the floor back to you, D, and you can go from there. Let them know as far as you want to do classes or whatever it is you want to do, and your email address or whatever you want to give them, so that the ones that want more information can get it. I mean, the ones that's not scared, the ones that scared, y'all hang on and have a seat, and it's okay, because this is not for everybody. We understand that, but the ones that want more information, there it is. Because I don't believe in stopping people from learning. Okay. If you want to learn something new, if you want to get out of the rut and you want to do something new, there's information to do it. And some people will and some people won't. Some people, blah, blah. Time you come up with a reason to be free, they got a reason why you don't want to be free. So the ones that want more information, here it is. I'm just giving you information. You can do what you want with it. I'm just saying. Okay. So, D, where you go? So I'm just saying, I don't want you guys to ever just settle for less. It's always about, just helping people to understand, or just giving you an opportunity to learn something new. I'm tired of going through crazy stuff. I'm just tired of, I'm turning my phone down. I'm tired of just living bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Let's find out different ways of doing this. If it's going to take us changing our nationality, okay, then let's do what we need to do in order to get to where we need to be. Okay. Commonwealth state, they make laws up as they go. Yes, they do. They make laws. They've been doing that, making laws up as they go. That's what Virginia does. Virginia's always done that. Okay, we're gonna bring Dee back. I think she lost.
Yeah, I be trying to figure this thing out. I'll be trying to do one thing and I'm still learning. But on that note, y'all, if what she's also talking about is on the private side, but she's also talking about credit wise. Learning these codes. If you notice, everybody's talking about fixing their credit and stuff. Yep. They're doing it through these codes.
Right.
Once you learn these codes and let these codes work for you, you will learn to be debt free, learn to have your LLC, let your LLC work for you. You put everything over in your LLC name. The key thing is to own nothing but to control everything. That's what they do. And so that's what we have to learn to do. But those UCC codes work for you in trying to fix your credit, but I don't know if I did it right, Cass. I call myself putting my email in there. So if they want to email me,
email that.
I don't know. That's why I got lost.
Put in the chat. Put in the chat.
I did, and it took me somewhere. So I'm not messing with it. It's Vonna Johnson 39.
Hold on.
You got
it. Hold on. I'm gonna put it in here. Give it to me.
Vonna Johnson.
Johnson, JOHNSON
39 at yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
And so
VON, hold on, VONA. Oh shoot, hold on. Johnson, JOHNSON 39 at Gmail.
No, Yahoo.
Well, yahoo.com. Okay.
Love to say Gmail.
Okay. I know I love to say Gmail. I do. Let me see. Is that it right there? I'm gonna show it.
Yeah, because I don't see it.
What about that? Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Make sure I put it in right. Okay. So if you guys want information, if not, okay. But if you guys want information, you go to her email and you can get, get information.
If y'all interested in learning more, want to learn more, let Cassie know and she'll let me know and we can set up something, maybe a Zoom or something to give y'all more information. Learn how to pay your bills using coupons. It works. I know it works because it worked for me.
And also, like purchasing houses and cars and stuff with your LLC.
Right.
I'm just saying, this is a way to do other stuff and not using your own
social.
Yeah. So, but it's
that's what they do.
Right.
That's what they do.
They've been doing this all the time. We just didn't know about it. And then when we learn about something, folk just don't really understand how it works. You begin to make excuses why. Well, I'm not doing it because, well, okay, it's not for you. That's fine and dandy. Don't. But for some, if you do your research and you have time to do your research, then do your research and move forward. If you're scared, it's okay. That's okay. Everybody, Hercules, everybody is not there yet, and it's okay if you're not there. And some people want more information to see if they're there or see if they want to get there, or just to be able to research to see, okay, how do I get there, or what does it all mean? Then she's here to give you that understanding.
That's why I encourage you to read The Straw Man.
Mm-hmm. The Straw Man. It's a book, right?
Search. The book is only $5.55, I think, on Amazon.
Okay. There are other books too that they have.
Well, The Straw Man is a book that I will encourage everyone to read starting out, because it'll kind of help you understand the process, understand what's really going on.
Okay.
And then you will go in and read the other books. The Redemption Manual is a good book to read. But and the Black's Law Dictionary is good to have your own, but you can also go on to one of the universities. You can even type it in and the Black's Law, and you can pull up the definitions for whatever word you're looking for. I mean, and y'all, when you learn this stuff, it is mind-blowing. And I've learned, my mom,
that's the book.
That's the book. That's the book, The Straw Man's book. Like I said, my sister has mine, so. And I think it was $5.55.
Yeah, it was only $5, and it says Meet the Straw Man. Okay, Meet the Straw Man and whatever you want to know. Okay, so you guys can either do your homework or not. It's up to you. It's just information. And the ones that want to do it. If not, then it's okay. It doesn't, it doesn't make you less than or whatever. It just, it's just not your time yet, and it's fine.
That's it. And even if you're interested, want to learn more about credit repair, do-it-yourself credit remedies, and stuff like that, you can reach out to Cassie. She can let me know. Because like I said, I do believe in helping God's people. So,
because you do credit things too, you kind of straighten out credit too, right?
I'm actually got 3 people that I'm working on right now. So two is moving slow and getting papers turned in to me, but one, I mean, he's on it. Every time he gets something, he texting me, and I'm like, okay, send it to me.
Okay, because I'm getting ready to look into straightening up mine. I just have a few. I don't think I have a lot, but I've not even checked it in so long because I'm debt free. But I just, want to see who's been checking, who's been looking, who's, putting their hands on my little credit, because there's nothing on there. I don't use credit at all.
But you'll be surprised. You will really be surprised how your Social Security number is being used and traded. And then maybe I can show them in another session on how to know how their Social Security number is being used.
Yeah.
So my grandbabies are really cutting up.
I hear, but it's okay. Thank you for joining us.
And we'll talk later. So just keep me posted, let me know, and we'll talk.
Okay, gotcha. Right. Thank you. We'll talk later. Bye. Okay, you guys. Well, that is her email. If anybody is interested in just learning information, there it is. You can get information. If you want to, good. If not, that's okay. I'm always about introducing new things to people. I'm doing my research as far as I'm doing my research. Just like you, everybody should. I don't just listen to people and just I have to research stuff. I have to research everything. But I do still want to us not to forget we are going to for real do that school thing. I just need to get with some people, and we are going to. And I'm thinking that we'll do it per school. Just we'll have one up here, and then that day, if you guys want to give to that person, you can. And then we'll have Umar another day, and then we'll do King Consciousness. I think that's what they said his name was. King Randall. I think King Consciousness, King Randall. I think King Consciousness was Dr. Umar, right? I think. But I do believe that I think we're gonna do it just one at a time, and they'll be able to put their GoFundMe out there, and then if you want to participate, you can. And we're gonna kind of advertise it. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do it May 1st. We'll maybe get it done by May 1st. We'll get them in here, and we could maybe for the first week of May. We'll let you, I'm thinking May 1st, and that whole week you guys can support them. And then the second, I think the first one in May is May 7th, and then the next one, May 14th and May 21st. So we'll use those 3 weeks to be able to give to them, and then we'll go right back into it, because I think it's time for us to really become serious about educating our own babies. Okay. And if we have Black schools out there that's ready and willing, let's make it happen and let's support those schools. Okay. We're really about it. Let's be about it. I'm not going to be on here long. 2 hours. This is crazy. I don't mean to be on here this long, you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed the live. I hope you guys share it. I hope you guys talk about it and share it. Love on it. Thumbtack it. Make sure you guys still subscribe, because some people saying, oh, Facebook, YouTube didn't tell me. That means probably because you are not subscribed, or people, we're not even subscribing. We're not liking, we're not sharing. And it's free. It doesn't cost you at the information. Give it out to other people. Help other people to know that we're here so that we can grow the channel. My channel's been at 3, I think it's like 380. I've never been the one to push the channel. I think, if it's meant to grow, it'll grow itself. But if you guys can, hey, like and share, press the button, hit the button, share it out to somebody else, or, but keep on coming back. And let's do this again next Sunday. I'm going to try to do more shows, history thing. But no schools responded yet. Really, they're not going to. Black schools maybe, but they're not gonna. They don't want to hear what you got to say. Forecast. They're not gonna, honey. Please, I try to get my book into prisons. My Mother's Love book. I try to get it into prisons. They're not interested in educating those women. I ain't heard nothing back yet. But keep on trying. But I think maybe more Black schools. You might reach out to like Dr. Umar and King Randall and Q Butter. I think they might be more interested in your history, your Black history thing, but I don't think the other schools are going to want to do it. You probably won't hear nothing, seriously, because that's not something they want out. They don't want that out. They don't want our children to learn that. But I think if you reach out some of the Black schools, I think they'll be more interested in teaching that history. And it's already done. It's done by a Black guy. It's done very well. But yeah, I wish you could do the CRT for me. Really, Black schools. Are you serious? Now have you called them? I will call them and talk to them and call and see maybe who are you sending it to? Are you sending it to the owners? You sending it to the principal? Or because sometimes you have to send it to the owners and you have to go through the principals to find out who the owners are. Okay. Because I have a school here in my area. I have her personal number. If you send it to me, I'll send it to her, and then I'll talk to her personally and go from there for it, because I do have a Black school here. The point. And it's in the area where I live, and it is a Black school. And I've also wanted to try to get her on here to interview her too, so we'll see. But yeah, I think just keep reaching out and keep trying. And I think you need to find out who the owner is and talk to the owner. Okay. No email. One is a lady in DC with a school. Well, does she teach Black history, and who's teaching her Black history? Because I know one white school, a Black school that my granddaughter goes to. I can't stand this school. You have a white lady teaching history. So that speaks volumes to me about that school. It's a charter school. And I think a lot of charter schools are public schools. Okay. Because they, and like even Bakari was saying, a lot of our Black schools are really super expensive. But I know Q Butter works on, he'll tell you, but he'll still give you like a budget plan, and he'll, even move some mountains for you. So I do believe that it's time for us to step out there and stop just being scared to do anything new. I tried Q Butter and the brother in Chicago with the school. Yes, I would. Who is the dude in Chicago? Who is that? Is that where's Randall? Where's King Randall out of? Where's he out of? I don't know where he is, but I got Q Butter's information and Omar's information. I can get with them too, but I'm just thinking about King Randall. I don't know much about him. I don't know if he would even, come on. I don't have enough people, I'm sure, but for him, but I don't know. I can't even say that, because I thought that was about Q Butter, but he came on with no problems, and I interviewed him. So you guys can look in the old videos here where I have interviewed Q Butter. Okay. So I'm going to go. I'm not going to be here long. But yeah, keep trying, Forecast. But I appreciate you guys for coming. I appreciate everything. You know, you guys don't have to. You guys could be, you know, with somebody else's show, looking at somebody else's show. But I appreciate y'all for coming. King Randall, you need to look him up. That brother, he started in his home. And he's got an all boys, I think, all black boys. Okay. And I've been watching that brother. But you know, so he's been here for a minute. Okay. So I don't know him personally. But I know he has a black school, King Randall, and you can find him on Facebook. Okay. Message him through Facebook. Okay. So that's how I get along. I mean, that's how I got with Q, but I messaged him on Facebook, and then I got his personal number. So I'll be calling him this week and say, hey, let's do a fundraiser, you know. So I'll be talking to him this week, and Dr. Umar, I have his number too. So I'll be contacting both of them to see if they want to do a fundraiser with me. Okay. So we will be in touch about the fundraiser. I'm super excited. You know, I love to do stuff. This is my forte. I love doing anything that's going to motivate Black people. Okay. Let's see. Things very nice. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. So with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. I need to cook dinner. I've not even started it yet. So I know my husband, they're starving. So well, you know how y'all men act like y'all starving. So I'm gonna go, and we'll talk later, and stay tuned. Okay, like and share, and peace, family.